so tired.
All your pockets are empty?
Oh, yeah.
Feel good? Feel good to be back? I haven't adjusted this for you yet.
Well, we never. Oh, yeah. Look at that. We're ready. Is this rolling? Are we rolling? Rolling. Camera.
Yeah.
Action. Welcome back to We Stayed Late. The podcast that doesn't know what it is. We talked about that today.
We did. Somebody asked us what it was.
Somebody asked us what it was, and you know what we said? We don't know.
I always say it's just shooting the shit with friends.
It's true.
You said it was a curse and a blessing at the same time.
I said it's a blessing and a curse because it means
That's how
that we don't
hang
have.
out. We force ourselves to hang out.
It means we don't. It means we get to talk about whatever though, which is cool.
That's true.
with me.
We're not stuck to like.
Yeah.
This is generally just us being friends and just having something to do, being friends.
Luis and I just touched elbows.
Our mics are touching elbows. You can see that at youtube.com/WeStayedLate.
That's right. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, you should go over to youtube.com/WeStayedLate and hit the subscribe button.
That would be
We're almost
great.
at 1,000 subscribers. We found out just recently we don't have to have 1,000 subscribers to go live. So
Yeah, to do anything. We've been saying
No, we don't.
We don't?
Not anymore. They changed the rules.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
we
then
could be-
fuck those 1,000 subscribers. Let's just go live. Oh, man. I was
Yeah.
like, man, that was so much pressure to try to get to that number.
No, you can do it with whatever now.
Now
so
we can just do it.
Yeah, so we don't.
The plan is right now. Just making sure it's recording. The plan is right now is I'm gonna get my garage set up, and we're gonna.
Shouldn't that red light be blinking?
It's up top blinking. If you look up, do you see it?
Oh yeah, I see it.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
we're
why I
good.
was paused.
Freaking me out, Luis. Freaking me out.
So yeah, the plan is to do it at my garage because Star has a job near where I live.
Yeah.
But hey, guess what? What might happen? Maybe, possibly.
You might not have that job.
Well, that's the more like urgent one is because it's contract work, and they all want to keep me in the office, but obviously who gets to make the decision? Someone who's not in the office.
Yeah. That's how that works.
So that's still up in the air. I'm supposed to find out the week of Thanksgiving.
Well, it's close. You
but
still
even
live close to.
Even if I were to keep the job, there's a possibility that they might move the office to Beverly Hills.
Oh no.
Are you serious?
Oh, you're going back
to
Beverly Hills.
Like they were just talking about it casually, and like the people there's half the people who are like, obviously their commute to Burbank is a nightmare, so they're like really excited, but everybody else is just like, oh God, no, please, no.
Yeah.
Like there's people who live in like Sun Valley who are like, please don't let it be Beverly Hills, and I'm like, I'm with you right now. My commute is a solid 15 minutes.
Oh
man,
that's so nice.
15 minutes with traffic is 15 minutes.
That's crazy. I don't even understand.
I know, it's the dream, and I'm like, oh, please don't go to Beverly Hills. Like, please don't, please.
That was one of the most soul crushing parts, and we might have already talked about that, but one of the most soul crushing parts of driving to work in where we used to work.
Yeah.
Not
in Century City.
In Century City, yeah. Not like it was a different.
It's Beverly Hills adjacent. It's the same area.
Yes.
Yeah. It's you go through Beverly Hills from where I live to get there, and every day driving through Beverly Hills.
I hated it.
Is like soul crushing because you're like, oh,
look at all these rich people on their houses.
Fuck all these people. They all have houses.
They're beautiful houses.
I would take a house an eighth of the size of that house.
Right? Oh.
And they're like, oh yeah, I have 3 houses. And you're like, shut the fuck up and go away.
Yeah, so I'm not looking forward to that if that were to happen.
We're having an ever evolving. I know. I'm just trying to find the right fit.
Oh, it needs to. Yeah.
And the people who are excited about going there, they're like, you haven't been there. Like, you don't understand. They have like snacks and all this stuff, and they're just describing like what
WeWork.
Yeah, but it's not WeWork. It's like it's a place.
Yeah.
But
what is this, like a satellite office? Or?
It's the main office. The Burbank office is a satellite office.
Oh, I see.
So that's they're trying to decide if they need to
consolidate
everything together or keep it. Like, and it's mostly because there's like 1 or 2 people who don't want to drive from Beverly Hills to the studio.
Too bad.
Every once in a while kind of thing.
So,
but I mean, like, I don't know what the business end of stuff. Maybe it would save the money. I don't know. Maybe the move there will help me keep my job, and then I'll be like, all right, well, fine. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just, when I heard that, I was just like, I'm cursed. I'm cursed to like forever go to that area from my spot, and it's just like, man.
Yeah, that area is rough.
I'm hoping it doesn't happen, but it's just like with my luck, I'm like, oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
You guys heard about Defy? Yeah, we should probably talk about Defy since that's sort of in our category of things we talk about.
Wait, what happened?
Defy Media.
What happened?
Shuttered.
Really?
Defy Media is no longer.
Interesting.
They shut down.
Another giant fallen.
Another giant.
Yeah.
From what off them?
I'm gonna pull it up really quick so we can all learn a little bit. Defy Media, home of YouTube superstars Smosh, is shutting down. Also home to Smosh Games and Clever. They're some of the YouTube's most popular channels, but they're looking for a new studio in the wake of news that their parent company, Defy Media, is closing its doors.
But Smosh is still here.
Smosh said that they're still around. They're just gonna be searching for a new home.
Interesting.
They said that the Smosh's team is already in process of finding a new home, and they said, unfortunately, market conditions got in the way of us completing our mission. So.
Huh. I wonder if they'll just go indie.
I don't know. Yeah, they might go indie.
Or like pull a Valley Folk or something and just be like, hey, if you guys like all this shit, Patreon us and give us money. I don't know.
I mean, it's not a bad idea.
Do you think it's the YouTube algorithm is fucking with them?
I don't know. I mean,
because I heard I saw somewhere maybe Keemstar is leaving YouTube.
Yeah.
Because
really?
Because
he's going to Twitch.
He was just like, "Fuck you, YouTube algorithm," and then I don't know. Maybe he's going.
I'm sure Will's excited.
Yeah. He almost typed out "thank God," and then he's like, "Should I send this out?"
Oh
but he
God,
didn't.
him and his beef.
That's crazy.
But they're huge.
We knew some people who worked there.
Yep. Yeah, that was where a lot of people, once they left SourceFed, that's where a lot of people
went.
went.
Defy, so I wonder what they're gonna do now.
I know, it's pretty sad. And then people that were SourceFed adjacent, of course, where we sort of ran the same circles as them.
Yeah.
So really crazy, really sad.
They'll crawl out of the rubble and spring anew.
Like a phoenix.
Yeah.
Like Harry Potter.
Yes, exactly. So where you at, Louise?
Oh boy.
My friend Kelly messages me every time afterward to be like, so I need to know when you guys are gonna do that again because she needs to know.
Yeah, Spencer was already there today.
I was privy to a conversation.
Yeah, because somebody was like, "I heard you're reading Harry Potter for the first time." Like 2 people were, and I was like, "Yep." It's like, okay, well, what's going on?
Yes.
And man, this one I can't stop reading it.
You're Order of the Phoenix.
I'm an Order of the Phoenix right now, and I'm drinking soda to stay up all night so I can read more. Because I sometimes I start reading, I'm like, I'm so tired, and I want to remember what I'm reading.
Yeah,
and I have to reread those pages because I forget what I read.
Yep, totally.
But I wanted to keep reading. Anyway, Umbridge is a bitch.
Yes.
And fuck her.
Umbridge is the worst.
I love that when you were like, I can't wait to get back to Hogwarts because then it'll be great. And I was just like, oh, this isn't the book
you have
for
no
you.
idea.
First off, I was like, she gives a little
the hem.
and then Dumbledore like stops what he's doing, and I'm like, well, that's weird. All right, whatever. And then as we progress and go on, and he gives Harry a detention, I was like, okay, this whatever, it'll be fine. And then when I read the words that a pain like was happening on his hand and it started to open up and bleeding, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
this
she
is
tortures
not
him.
This is not allowed. Like, is this a thing where like I did not expect that type of torture to be happening. Like, that's fucking ruthless. And the whole like when he stood up and was like, no, Voldemort is back. I don't care what you say. And the way that she just shuts him down is just like, I want to explode, because what's happening in that book, I feel like, is almost happening right now.
Oh yeah, it's exactly
with the world, and it's just frustrating.
It is infuriating.
This whole time, I'm with the book. I'm with Harry Potter, and it's fine. It's a good journey. We all know Voldemort's real. Yeah. We all know he's coming back. We've been there, and the fact that now these people like what's his name, the Fudge.
Yeah,
I loved Fudge when he first came out. He was great. What a fun guy.
Yeah, but
not anymore.
Nope.
And he's
that sort of changed in Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yes, in Prisoner of Azkaban, his true color started coming.
Yeah, and I was like, ooh, Fudge, not so Fudge anymore. Yeah,
no, not too sweet.
Not sweet.
Not too sweet at all. Don't want to take a bite out of that brownie. And so he.
You know what? I wonder if that's why she named him Fudge. Like,
to throw you off?
Well, no. Like, you know how like fudge is sometimes a substitute for the word fuck.
Oh.
Like, fudge. I wonder if that is why.
JK, hit us up.
Yeah, let us know, JK.
You know listening. And so, yeah, I mean, just the fact that the
Joe.
whole ministry doesn't believe.
I think she goes by Joe.
Oh,
Pretty
Joey.
Not sure she goes by Joey.
And so, yeah, just how the ministry is turning his back on him. It's like leaving me so frustrated.
Yeah,
with this.
it's awful.
And it's frustrating to see Umbridge do all this. And it's frustrating to see Percy acting this way when he dropped that letter and Ron, it said Ron was reading the letter and then he was like shocked and threw the letter to the floor. I was like, what did the letter say?
Percy.
And Percy was like, listen, I'm so proud of you being a prefect. Mom and dad are fucking being dicks and you're probably friends with Harry and you're going to have to stop doing that. It's going to ruin your chances, and all these things and you need to whatever. And it's just like everybody is turning on Harry and he's getting so frustrated. Like Harry's becoming super angry. And I get it. Like it's very upsetting to me. And I know Harry's very prideful and maybe that's something that I'm not like Harry Potter in that way, because if I was like, being tortured, I would have said something.
Yeah.
But I guess, he's did nothing.
Well,
like,
yeah,
I can't even.
He has a lot more pride.
He has a lot of,
Yeah.
and I can't imagine not like just the strength, I guess, that this fictional character had to not whimper.
Well, but
at all.
he's also famous too, and so it's like this weird thing where like he has to be the strongest one because he's the one they all look to.
Right.
Yeah.
And and they've got him cornered with the press saying like, don't trust.
Yeah.
what he
What's her
says.
name? Why am I drawing a blank on her name?
Quill. She has the quick quill.
The quill. The
But
quick
she,
quill.
yeah,
Who is
she's
that?
Not, I don't know, but
Oh God,
she's not writing anymore. Because I know she got trapped.
She got
but
her
the
secret.
effects that she has done is like it's already
That fake
affected
news.
the whole
fake news.
all the
that's
fake
out there.
news that's there, and it just
Rita Skeeter.
Oh,
fuck
the
her.
effects that she's made is already done, and so everyone corners him as a crazy person,
Yeah.
and it is frustrating to see when no one trusts him, and when you see fellow Gryffindor, students like who is it? Not Seamus.
It is Seamus.
Is it Seamus?
Yeah, Seamus.
Who doubts him?
Yeah.
And who's like, my parents think you're crazy.
Because his parents.
Yeah.
Like, think about that. Like, they're also what? They're all 14 now.
Yeah, I
no,
mean, it
15. They're all 15
But
now.
you come into
so
this-
it's just like, man, like, you're still a teenager. You're still not, you don't know what the fuck you're doing at 15. So you're hearing all these rumors, and rumors are like the truth at 15. So it's like all this shit that's going on. Percy was always one of those characters where I was just like, I don't understand. I really don't. And only like now, like of years of going back. And I'm not saying anything spoilery. It just like as Percy is, he is. Because I was like, how did this happen? How did this happen to him? And Kelly and I were discussing this. But it's like out of all of the Weasley kids, he's the one who doesn't have like a best friend within the family. Because the older two, Bill and Charlie, they kind of grew up together.
Yeah.
They were like not too far apart in age. The twins had each other. So Percy's in the gap between those two. So it's like you had the two older ones.
He's trying to
you
find
had
a
the twins.
family.
There's
Almost
no
with,
so it's just like, and they all have that complex of either I need to stand out in my family and be awesome or fuck it. Like I'm not going to deal with it. Like it's either you take the twins route and you're like, I don't give a fuck. Or you're like, oh shit, I need to take this serious. Even Ron has like issues, like clearly has issues with like, wanting to like have attention, even though he sees what happens to Harry. Like their disconnect is still always there. And so like you have Percy like right in this middle gap, who doesn't really grow up with anybody, doesn't really have a buddy. Yeah. And it's like still has all the same issues that all of them have. Yeah. So like he just turned into like, I need to be the best at what I am. I need to do straight out. He's like, I will not end up like in my parents' situation. And like I do know people like that where like I refuse to end up like so it's that type of thing. Right. And of course he's not going to really bond with Ron and Ginny because they're so much younger.
They're way younger.
So it's like he's in that. So it's just like, okay, I can see how how that happens. Especially like if he's Percy and he's like the third. The other two are also just as good and they're cooler and more popular and all that stuff. And he's still just being just as good. And his parents just expect that. So like there's nothing to make him stand out.
Well, we saw Ron go through that phase of feeling like.
Yeah, but even
we saw him go through that in the last book in Goblet.
Yeah, and Ron has like Harry as like his best friend, and he could even then I still say like he could see what happens to Harry. So it's like a different kind of lesson of like, well, this is the extreme fame of it. And even then, Ron still wants it.
Yeah. Ron just made it on the Quidditch team.
He just made it on the Quidditch team, and so he's like working really hard to do it. And he was pretty nervous to like tell anybody. Yeah. Which is relatable, I think.
Yeah.
And so we're just rooting for him to now like be a good what's it called?
He's a keeper.
To be a good keeper.
Replacing Oliver Wood, which is like intense because Oliver Wood was a good keeper.
Yeah. So what else about that? They're training. He's training. Slytherins are being dicks.
As usual.
As usual.
Yeah.
And like
they don't get a good rap in this book. In any of the books. You're like, damn it, come on.
But yeah, it's funny how I've now noticed his group grow because now he has that one girl who's in the little group.
Luna?
No. Malfoy. It's Malfoy, Crabbe Goyle, and
not Palenly. It's shit. What's her name?
Something, right?
Pansy Parkinson.
Parkinson. Yeah, she's like part of the group now. And so
people like the fan fictions are like that's
Pansy
like
Parkinson,
Draco's girlfriend or something. Like they think like they date for a little while.
And yeah, you know what? I was. Have you ever seen the show Glow?
No, I know of it, and I know
Glow's so good.
Yeah, it's very good.
I know the costume designer for that show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's very good. Well, in Glow, they make this point about like one of the main characters is trying to find her place in the company, I guess, in the wrestling company, and she can't really figure out what it is, and then she learns that in all good wrestling, you need to have what was it called?
The heel.
The heel.
You need the heel. Someone to root against and someone to root for, you know? Mm-hmm. And J.K., Jo, she does a great job.
Shout out to you, Jo. She does a great job of creating those heel characters.
Yeah.
Because every time they show up, I just want to fucking rip them apart.
Oh, my God.
And so it's frustrating to me. And it's like now I'm just getting it everywhere where it's like the Ministry, the People, Umbridge, Snape, Malfoy, everybody. And so when I see these like clashes happen, it just like I want to see them lose. And it was interesting to see Umbridge versus McGonagall and how she kind of like
McGonagall's the shit.
Put her in her place, you know?
Yeah.
Which I loved. I loved her when she got put in her place. It was very sad when
Trelawney
was put in her place.
Yeah, but Trelawney.
Yeah. But there was one thing else. And Umbridge, in my mind, because I haven't seen anything, it reminds me of the character from Spirited Away.
The Baba?
The one who runs the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I see her, every time I read her, that's what's in my head.
But I get the Baba, though. Like, she's still like a spirit being creature, so she's not going to act human. But, I get her.
But because she's like Toad.
Visually?
She's supposed to be Toad-like.
Visually is what you're saying.
Visually.
Oh, I see.
That's what I mean, visually, not the person. Like small, because every time
slightly younger Baba.
No, yeah, a younger one because she's small.
Because in Spirited Away, that lady has like
wrinkles.
Like,
but I imagine that
that
long squash face, short, the hair. You know what I mean?
Toad-like. Wait till you watch the movie. It's real good.
Oh, really?
I mean,
see, the movie doesn't capture it for me. Like it's.
Oh, I just mean the casting.
Oh, the casting was fantastic.
It's real good for her.
But like in my head, it's like I wanted her to be even more froggy somehow.
Oh, see, also, I feel like it was just the right level where it feels like, without spoilers, it feels like it's realistic, and like at first it doesn't, like, if you just were to see her
in the book, is she human?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Painfully human.
It's like, oh, she's a human, and then she starts doing
Which
shit.
Which is why it's even more infuriating, because you can't excuse it. You can't be like, oh, well, she's like half this, or she's just trying to be like, or she's trying to hide. No. There's no like, I mean, there's no good backstory for her. There's no like.
But it's also, I'm sorry if I'm jumping on your point here.
No.
But the whole wizard community now, I feel, has a little negative spin on it, the way that I didn't think it had. Because when I came into it, I was like, oh, it's magical. Everyone's great. Yeah. I'm going through the lens of Dumbledore. Like, I'm seeing the world through Dumbledore's eyes, and everybody is pretty great except for a few bad eggs. But now I'm seeing that there's such, like, superiority that the wizards have over everybody.
I'm trying to see if
you know
I
what I
can
mean.
find
Like they think that they're
my
better
number
than the
chart.
elves. They think they're better than the goblins. They think they're better than all these
Yep.
things, and so they kind of cast them down. And they have some like toity-froity, like, and purebreds. Like that's a whole thing too. And it's just like it starts unraveling like a kid when you grow up. You're like, oh, the world has a lot of bad stuff in it.
Yeah.
You know, that you didn't expect. And so,
and then what's
kind
cool,
of sad, you know? But,
yeah. What's cool is that you're seeing that as Harry starts to see it.
Right.
Which is brilliant, right? He was a kid before.
It's so good.
We saw all the good, quote unquote. I mean, there's still bad stuff that happened to him, but there was always this like underscore of good.
For the most part, she does a great job of me feeling what Harry is feeling.
Yeah.
Like when he is annoyed that he got picked for the order. For the
Goblet of Fire, yeah.
I was also upset. And then like he's going through the ringer. I'm also upset that he's going through the ringer. And so anyway, now they're going to go, to wrap it all up, they're going to do classes of Defense Against the Dark Arts. And so they're like, they convinced Harry. They went to the Hogsmeade. They went to the bar.
Yep.
They rounded everybody up.
DA!
And then it ended with Umbridge notice saying all clubs and everything have to go through me. And so they're like, fuck. And so they're like, no, it's going to happen, but we're going to figure it out. So that's where I'm at right now.
So good.
Nice. True facts. That's the Order of the Phoenix is the first Potter book that I read that like I got it like midnight release.
That's yeah.
And I read it in 16 hours.
Wow.
Whoa.
I did that with Goblet.
I could. I wish I could. I wish I could just read
I mean, you read it and then you're like, oh God, my eyeballs.
But I want to keep reading. It's
and
like
then
drugs.
you sleep for a day and then you go back and read it. So
yeah. I already know, like, I know you told me you re-listened to it like, when you were at SourceFed. I'm going to definitely, like, either re-listen or reread. Yeah. For sure.
It's like I do it, I think, if not every year, every 2 years, I re-listen to it all.
It's really good.
And it's so funny because I'm watching Sabrina right now. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
I can't watch it. It's too scary.
Really?
Really?
Oh,
I can't
man.
do it.
We have to talk about Haunting.
Well...
I mean, you guys can talk about it. I'm not going to watch it. It's too scary for me.
No spoilers, but... Yeah, Sabrina.
Sabrina. There's so much TV. I can't even say. But Sabrina, it's funny watching it because
it's like the opposite.
It's like the opposite of Harry Potter.
Yep.
And so they have like a Dumbledore, but he's like
he's evil. He's evil Dumbledore.
They have an academy, but it's evil because everything is designed.
Academy of Unseen Arts.
Yeah, and everything is in the structure of pentagon shapes. Like it's all
that's
like
cool. I like that part.
And they have like their own like spells and way that you cast things, and it's just like I'm finding witches everywhere because I'm also
witches are on trend right now.
Witches are on trend.
We're also writing. Hey, by the way, we're writing a witch comic called Ruby Whipple. Go to rubywhipple.com.
Ruby with an I.
Ruby with an I. RUBIWHIPPLE.com.
Yeah.
You can read the comic.
Yes,
we're at page what?
136.
136 pages to catch up on if you haven't seen them.
You have to draw it and finish tonight.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna say this right now. I feel like this podcast is gonna go a little long.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just feel like
we haven't hung out in a month.
And you have, you have a lot to talk about with the gaming stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I know we have to put the ad in right in the middle.
Yeah.
Can we do that in post? Can we just like shove it in the middle? Like have it just like Harmontown does.
Yeah.
Where we just like find a middle point.
Yeah, we can do that.
I prefer that. That'd be good.
So we can keep because I don't want to force a midpoint.
A midpoint. Yeah.
What if this was the midpoint anyway?
I want to get to the gaming stuff that you're doing.
Oh yeah, just lots of.
Because I've been waiting to hear it.
Wait, what's your game? Oh, your card game stuff.
No, because you went away. You went on a.
We haven't done a thing since I was gone.
No, you haven't.
Yeah.
He was at the convention.
To finish your game.
Which one?
Kids on Bikes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So hello. Well, I ran Kids on Brooms.
Right.
At the convention, and that was really, really fun because we got to do the convention that I went to is called Big Bad Con. For those of you that are in the Northern California area, it's in like the San Francisco, a little bit. What is that? East of San Francisco. Anyway, it's the best con I've ever been to in my life. It was unreal. It was so cool.
I love it when you go to conventions because you tell me how much it drains, like in a good way.
Yeah.
It like drains you because of
all
like takes you.
It takes all your endorphins.
Yeah, it takes all your endorphins because you're having so much fun.
It's like a drug, and so when you get back from it, you're completely drained.
Right.
And
yes.
I came back Monday, and I don't think I regained my endorphin count until like the next week.
Oh jeez.
It was ridiculous, but it was some of the most fun I've ever had in my life. It was We played a Kids on Bikes or Kids on Brooms session, which for those who don't know, Kids on Brooms is a hack I'm working on for Kids on Bikes that puts it in the Harry Potter universe. Not in the Harry Potter universe, in a magical school.
And if you're coming to this podcast late and don't know Kids on Bikes, it's
Kids on Bikes is a role playing game about playing kids that ride around a small town on bikes and solve mysteries, sort of a la Stranger Things. What else? E.T. Goonies.
Right.
Can have a Riverdale vibe, which I've discovered.
Riverdale.
Okay. Anyway,
so we play different characters like the bully, the
slacker,
the class clown.
Yeah.
Maybe the old, I don't know what else is there.
The popular
kid, the jock,
the one
British
we don't
jock.
ever pay attention to.
Yeah. So we instead of playing those characters, we played Kids on Brooms.
Kids on Brooms, which is like all the archetypes of magical school, which is really cool. We actually got to play a session together before I went.
We did.
And we finished it.
And we finished it.
And it was so good.
And then
I think I saw your post about you saying you had like the best Kids on Bruce things session ever at this con. I was just like, but what about our session?
Our session was really good.
I thought our session was really good. Like, what was this other session?
Spencer's going to the major leagues. You know what I mean?
So Big Bad Con was a story games convention.
Right.
So it's not even just an RPG convention.
It's like for you.
It is for me. It's built for me. It's built. It is a bunch of people who love telling stories and playing characters,
so they know
together.
how to work it, you know.
Exactly. And so we told this story about this group of kids who they found. So they're in for those who don't know, in Kids on Brooms and Kids on Bikes, you start with nothing as the game master. You don't have anything planned, and then you talk to the players about their characters, and you figure out what's going to happen based on your conversation with them about their characters and about the rumors that they give you. So ours was they met this basically one of the professors was a professor of moon studies, because apparently magic works differently on the moon. So they had a moon annex, so they go to the moon and have and have classes, and so it was really cool. And so anyway, we ran into these moon goblins that apparently made their way down to Earth, and we're trying to get back, and so we helped them like get back to their planet.
That's
and it was
amazing.
really good. So it was like a weird sci-fi twist, but anyway, it was really fun. It was really good.
That's great. I love a sci-fi twist.
I'm so jealous because that sounds amazing.
So we met a little Dobby character. Like, it was basically like Dobby is basically what it was, but his name was Apple.
Oh.
And he learned how to do finger guns. It was real cute. And they had it. So you get what's it called, a familiar, right, in the game?
Yes.
And so somebody chose
Wait, do you get a familiar in Kids on Brooms too?
Kids on Brooms, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right, we do.
Yeah, I
we
have the rock.
I forget because they don't call them familiars in Harry Potter, do they?
No, they call them.
They're just pets.
Pets, yeah, or something.
She doesn't use familiar in
Sabrina. They call them familiars.
They call them
that's
familiars.
right, I guess.
Yeah, but somebody had a dog, and so Apple would just ride around on the dog.
Oh, that's fun.
On the back of the dog's neck. And, it was really cute.
God.
Anyway, it was really fun and a great session. And it's hard to capture that magic afterwards, it sort of happens at the table. But it was just the fact that we weaved so many things that were questions and like little character details into the story. Did you run the session? Yeah. So I ran it. So it was really fun to like have a group of people.
When was the last time you got to play it and you're not running the session?
Well, I played in a bunch of games there.
Okay, good.
So
I was gonna say, I'm like, you never get to be a character.
Yeah, well, no, that's not true. I get to play like six characters.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Like when you're running, you have to play a bunch of characters. It's not the same. But yeah, no, it was really fun, and we had a really good time, and we ran Icarus too, which was really fun.
Cool.
Which for those,
that.
yeah, we have it right here. It's right there. See that little deck of cards? That's Icarus.
Yeah, that white one.
That white one. That's Icarus. Can you reach it? Oh God.
To fall into your cacti.
Oh yeah, that's not a good idea.
I've already had
but yeah, we played that. We played a couple sessions of that, just as like play tests, and that was really fun. There it is. Yeah, that's just the prototype, but.
Is this Mad Men?
It's not. I wanted to evoke like a for those who can't see it, who aren't watching the video podcast. Go to youtube.com and watch the video podcast. But it is like a. How would you describe that?
Mad Men.
Sure. Yeah, it looks sort of like Mad Men.
100% the opening sequence of Mad Men.
Yeah,
Have
so
you
it's
watched
like
that?
no, I actually haven't.
Oh my
I've
God,
never watched the opening
you
sequence of Mad Men.
That's exactly what I thought.
That's
Really?
100%. But
Oh,
with
great!
More,
When
I
you
love
did
it.
that, I was like, "That's Mad Men."
but with more colors on yours.
That's-
Mad Men is just red, white, and black.
No,
okay.
I think it's completely fitting towards the game.
It looks
Yeah.
it looks fitting, but it was just like, but straight up the guy on the
If
back,
you
that's
all you gotta
the
do-
silhouette on Mad Men.
That's
Like,
so funny. No, I've never
all
watched
you gotta
Mad
do is
Men.
watch the intro. You don't have to watch the show. Just watch the
Intro.
it's
intro.
really short, and like I've heard people.
Oh yeah,
make, like,
there it
theme songs
is.
for it.
Yeah, black and white. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, so it is. Yeah, so it's all about how civilizations fall, and so this is the front of the box has like a bunch of different businessmen that are falling, but they sort of look like
They all look like Don Draper.
they all look like Don Draper. They sort of look, I wanted them to like also have the appearance of like
Is there a noise
cave
happening?
drawing. It's outside. Oh boy!
It's a chopper. The
Get
cops
to the
are coming.
chopper.
Oh,
That was weird.
that was weird. It didn't feel like a chopper.
What's the code name for cops? What's
The Popo, the 5-0,
That 5-0, yeah.
5-0.
the pigs.
What's the? I was like, what's the number?
Anyway, it has a very I wanted to evoke cave drawings as well, so it could be
Yes.
it could be any place,
I
anytime.
see.
Yeah.
So anyway,
very
that's that. But yeah, we had a really good time, and all my endorphins were drained, and I can't remember half of it because
Yeah,
when
you're
you're
just
in the
in the
midst of
moment.
it, but it was
Well,
very
great.
fun.
Ooh, sorry, I'm like admiring
No,
the
that's
like texture.
the texture of the
paper
cards, yeah.
I'm like, oh.
I know they're just prototypes, but they're
They're good prototypes.
It's a good paper texture. It's matte, but like there's a little bit of shine. It's
Yeah.
like semi-gloss.
You know what it feels like? The texture of like a play card, like maybe not the stiffness, but like the way that the lines are
It
crisscrossing.
seems like it's a sturdy cardstock. That's
the
for
card
sure.
stock looks like.
I
they're
would
from
say though these would
game.
probably get dirty.
oh yeah, very fast. Yeah.
What do you mean dirty? You mean like people's
From
palms?
hand.
From hands, yeah.
From hands and snaps.
That's why the next one I did, which actually there's another draft up there, which is more of has a coating on it.
If these were like black, then you'd probably be able to get away with.
See,
this
that's
texture.
what's interesting is that I ended up doing them not in that texture. So that's actually not the latest prototype. That's just one of them. The latest one has a gloss over the top, and it's better that it's white because it has like a coating.
Yes.
But if it was black, it would chip like crazy. So it's just weird that like with the different, I'm learning like with the different materials.
Yeah, you don't
you have
put
different-
shiny on black stuff because if it bends or cracks, you will
see it.
see it.
Yeah.
You don't make white cards matte because oils on hands
Yep.
and everything will just stain.
I'm learning.
You know what they do? Sometimes I get a
I
binder.
don't know why in my head like why does not everybody not know this?
Nope.
Have you not like you? Everyone owns things that like if you
Yeah, but you ever
like-
get that binder like "Welcome to Orientation" and then you put your fingers on it and,
And
it's
you-
ruined.
Yes.
It's ruined. Why would you give me a binder where it's now ruined every time I touch it? I hate it so much. I have to put gloves.
Yeah.
Was that a gift? That game room?
No, we found that.
You found it.
Yeah, at a
found it?
store.
Oh, that's not at a
Oh,
store. You can't find. Well, you can. You can't.
I didn't
find
go to
something
the
at a
store to buy that. We were at a store, and I turned to my left, and it said men's section, and then it had a game room sign, and I was like, "That's very sexist."
Yeah, but also.
But to be fair, it was a Hobby Lobby, so like
Oh.
that's why.
Okay.
Is it's the worst type of place.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm like.
I'm not happy we went there.
Finding something at a store, if you don't put the sentence together all in one go, because I have heard people say I found this at the store, but they say it like that. When you say I found this without the extra part of the sentence, it makes it sound like you walked past this and somebody threw it out and you were like, "Holy shit, who would throw this out?"
Well, to be fair,
found this.
I was at a garbage place, so
Sure. Yes. Yeah.
so you know. It is what it is. No, it's for those who can't see. It says, and that's everybody. I don't think I don't think that lens is wide enough.
No, it's not.
It's a sign that says game room, and it's real westerny.
This is a 16mm lens. If anybody's curious.
Yeah, that's why it's so. No, we just got it. Oh yeah, look at that. We can put it up above Luis. Luis can hold it. There it is. Doing weights.
You should change the cards to like something else.
Yeah, I know. We could repaint them.
You could like do like a cool like I don't know magic cards or something.
I could put the Icarus cards on there.
Yep.
Or like the make the circle the poker chips like Star Warsy.
Yeah.
Things.
That's cool.
Yeah.
There is when we were talking about wrestling, it reminded me there's an RPG called Worldwide Wrestling, the role playing game.
That's pretty
and so you play like the heel or the you play like all the different parts of, let me see if I can find it. You play like all the different parts of being a wrestler, which is pretty ridiculous.
I wish I could get into wrestling, but I need to be around like
other
other people to do
it.
Well,
you know what we need to do? We just need to get Mike Falzone in here.
That's the thing. It's like that type
He'll
of
tell us all
like. There's
about
the thing is you need to find like the pre-Mike Falzone, like people who are also
Yeah.
like they're into it, but not so much that they can't hang out with like people who are not into it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if I were to hang out with Mike while he's watching wrestling, I would have so many questions that it would
Annoy him.
Like if you're trying to enjoy the experience because they're all live events.
Yep.
Like.
Oh yeah, no, it'd have to be something that was like you could stop it and start it again. Glow really opened my eyes to wrestling. You should watch.
Yeah,
you should
yeah.
watch
I should
Glow.
watch Glow.
It's
good.
really, really
I
I
good.
want to watch the real thing. Well, maybe I don't.
There's a
for the whole
documentary.
There's a
time.
documentary.
You can watch the
Oh.
But
documentary on Netflix.
watch the show. The show is very, very
Okay.
good.
Yeah, it's very
We
good.
blasted through the 2 seasons that are on there, and we're really sad that it didn't have more. So it's very easy to watch.
I thought you were about to say it didn't get picked up. I was
No.
okay.
It's just they have to make
Yeah.
more.
No, they have to.
Yeah.
So we started watching it the week that the second season came out,
Oh,
and didn't know that the second season had just
came
so
dropped.
that means they got you with their advertising
Right.
because it was like,
Exactly.
oh, I guess I should watch the
And
show.
so we watched all of it, and then we were like, man, that was really great. It's probably going to come back soon because there's 2 seasons up. Looked it up, and it had just come out. We were like, fuck.
Yeah,
Always happens.
I used to be into wrestling when I was
Always
a
happens.
kid.
Really?
Like, yeah, I was, and like I even made like a fake like wrestling
Were you
belt.
like?
I got into the making moves. Like when I was younger,
What
me and
era?
my friends,
What era?
The Rock during the
okay,
Rock's era.
that's when my neighbor was super into it.
Yeah.
And
Did
so
you
that
hear
was,
it all the time?
Well, it was like my like kid best friend neighbor,
Right.
And he was the one like was explaining to me all the stuff. So same thing around the time of the Rock.
The Rock, Degeneration
with what
X,
he's cooking
Triple H,
in his eyebrow and all that stuff. It was
the new
around
Undertaker,
and it was around the time when I realized I was like,
the Dudley
this
Boys.
This is like a soap opera for boys.
Yeah.
Because he was describing McMahon's daughter was kidnapped by the heel and then they got married. And so all of a sudden she was like an evil lady
Yeah,
who married
she got taken by Triple H.
Yeah, that
And then-
whole business.
Yeah, and then they got part of Degeneration X is what they were part of together.
Yeah, that
And then
whole thing.
Then she became like, the bad girl.
Yeah, she's like, so all of that was when the brief bit that I was into wrestling, I was just like, wait, this is super not real.
I bought the album, like the WWE music album.
No
I was
way.
Yeah, it was.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, and then the pay-per-view event came out, and I had a couple friends who we watched it with.
There was some comedian, I do not know who said it, and I feel bad because I would give them credit.
I can look
but
it
they described wrestling as, it's just it's theater for jocks. It's theater kids who are jocks. And I was like, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanna watch this.
And The Rock, yeah, man.
But it's just too
he's
much.
So good.
And also you have to pay for like half the things.
It's
Yeah.
basically LARP.
Yeah, you're basically LARPing.
But with buff people.
It's a LARP with buff people. Well, there are LARPs with buff people. What is that one? And what is it?
There's
LARP.
a different kind of buff people.
Not really. LARP. What is it? Scandinavia? I can't remember where it is.
I'm sorry,
there
that
was a
doesn't
Nordic LARP.
I don't
You guys ever
count
seen
that.
Nordic LARP?
I don't
No.
count
So-
that as LARPing because that's for real.
Oh,
That's just
hold on.
camping for them.
Hold on. I did my first LARP
what?
Wait,
at Big Bad
what?
Con. I've never done one before, and I was like,
Spenser.
I'm gonna do one.
Was it fun?
Oh my god, it was ridiculous, guys. It was so fun. It was fun in the way that like doing improv with your friends is fun.
Oh, I don't know if I'd have fun then.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, you would like it. You would like it.
I don't like improv. like
It's-
for me, I like
Yeah,
watching
no,
it.
yeah.
I love watching
So
it. I
it's
don't
basically
like. I'm not-
it's basically like doing it's like the best parts of improv, but without the pressure because you don't have an
Okay.
audience.
Right.
It's just you.
Everyone
No, but
is.
your friends are the audience because you're playing with them. And
Right.
it makes it
So
really
okay, so let me
nervous.
just explain what it was because like it was I've never done a LARP before. I've only done RPGs before, and RPGs are like a certain type of nerdy.
It's in a room and it's comfortable. There's a table.
Right.
There's a room. Wait, LARPing is in a room?
No.
No.
Oh,
RPGs.
my bad. Yes. Sorry.
And so, and RPGs are like a certain level of nerd. And then LARPing is like one step further into the realm of nerd. But I was there, and it was one of the, one of the events that you could do is like do a LARP. I was like, in my life, when am I ever going to have the chance to do something like this again? And a friend of mine was running it, who I had met at a previous con.
Yeah.
And he was like, you should come do the LARP. And I was like, I guess I'll go do it and just try it. And so we all.
So now you're designing a few LARP games,
No,
and like we're
I'm
gonna
not.
have to play test them and go out into the woods with you.
Nope. I didn't enjoy it that much. I mean, it was fine. It was fun, but it's not like a thing that I would do on a regular basis. But I think the reason why I had a good time was because it was about a group of superheroes who had lost their powers and forgotten what their old lives were because of some catastrophic event, and their superpowers were slowly coming back.
Whoa.
And so you have a thing, you like get a card, and it gives you what your ability was.
It's like Mystery Dinner Theater.
Exactly. It's like Mystery Dinner
I've
Theater.
never done that, and I really want to.
You should do that.
That's fun.
That's LARPing.
Do that.
Yeah,
you get
it's
to
really
sit
fun.
at a table.
Yeah. Well, see, this one was interesting because we all started in a hotel room, and the LARP was really meta because it was about being in a hotel room. And
how many people were involved?
12.
That's a big group.
Yeah, it's a big group. So, but usually they're pretty big.
Yeah.
Usually they're
you need like.
Every time I think of LARPing, I think of role models.
Yes,
that's what I.
So do
of.
I. That's exactly what I thought of, and this is not like that at all.
Okay.
So, so the way that it worked was we all gathered in this room, and the moderator of the LARP passed out the cards, and they gave us what our like ability was. So mine was tactics. So I was the one who like saw the flow of battle and was able to like guide people. And then we had a whole conversation about what happened before our powers went away. So one of the characters decided that like everybody has questions. Sort of like Kids on Bikes, right? Where you get a bunch of questions and then we sort of form the story out of that. So the story that emerged was that there were these aliens who came down, and we went to talk to them to try and save the Earth from being invaded.
I'm sorry, I just saw I had like aliens.
But we're all sitting around a table at this point, right? We're just discussing what's happened. And so then my whole thing was tactics, and they're like, why? I'm trying to remember what the question was. It was like, why did you fail? Like, why did you fail the group? Basically, like, what did you do? What did you do that? Or maybe it was something more vague than that. But I took it as like, what did I do to fail the group? And basically, I thought it was my responsibility to look at what the enemy was and make decisions about how they would act,
right? And
make plans according to that.
Can I guess? I guess? I was like, well, this is clearly all according to plan, right?
No.
Oh, God damn it. That would have been awesome.
It wasn't.
So you're like Overwatch.
Yeah,
like
we were like
dictating.
Overwatch. And yeah, so
no,
I was
not
like,
I'm sorry, not the game. Like,
the premise in the
like
story of Overwatch.
I was
but
thinking
like
more of
in
like
general.
Arrow. An Arrow.
The people
Overwatch
that
has
Overwatch.
A story. That's why
like Overwatch. Like she's the one who's guiding everybody to where to go. Yeah.
And so I was because it had to be something that was like, why did you fail?
Right.
Was basically the internet or the question was like, why did you fail? And I didn't want to be like, oh, I didn't fail, right? It had to be like, I actually did fail. And so the answer was basically that like I'm the one who's supposed to know how these I'm supposed to have the plans, and they don't work off human logic. And so I thought I knew how they were going to react. I thought I knew what was going to happen. And so we acted accordingly.
But they be aliens.
But they be aliens.
Whoa.
They is aliens, and they didn't listen.
So
anyway, so that was like one of the backstories. And so then on my card, it had a cool mechanic where like there at a certain time because it was an hour LARP, so it took place over the course of an hour. And at a certain time, I had something happen. I had a trigger that happened. and my trigger was I started thinking about if I had to start sharing with people that I was having the thought of like, if I had to get rid of every single person in this room, how would I? Like if I had to kill every person in this room,
like
how
Batman,
would I do it?
Like a Batman.
Yeah.
Like he had a kill switch for everybody.
Exactly. And so, but I didn't know why I was having those feelings, because there was another character who basically warped reality into being what we are living in now. And
I know both of us like, whoa.
So it used to be everybody had like these superpowers, and then she modified reality so that nobody had superpowers
The
because
cops are mad at your.
I know. It happens. So nobody had superpowers, but that reality was starting to leak back in, and so we had to make the decision whether we were going to, like, what reality we were going to settle in.
Yeah.
And so they were leaking back in. So like that was on my card, and I had a certain time, and so we all had to like keep looking at our clocks and make sure we knew what time it was. But everybody had one of those, and they were all at different times. So we were all gathered in this like convention, and we were just hanging out, like talking, and then all of a sudden something would happen, and then we'd be like there was one point where I was standing there, and we just and the way that it works, like mechanically, I guess, is that you can go. You can like raise your hand like this, and you can say, "There's a thing here now," and you describe it, and then everybody goes back into playing. Okay. Or you can do this, like you can cross your fingers, or you can do this, and that means we're gonna have a conversation outside of our characters so that we can figure out what's happening. So you and I, if we were playing characters, could go. Right. Do we know each other? Okay. Have we met each other?
Yeah.
Okay, we know each other. Okay, we know each other from this. Right. Okay, cool. Back in. Okay, and then we'll play. And so you can just basically like, but everybody else keeps going. Right? While you do that, it's just the two of us that are out of character and then back in. And so, anyways, this really interesting thing where
you did that movement very comfortably.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
it was very smooth. Like
it's because that's how we do timeouts in soccer. So you just do this, and that means I want a timeout.
It's just like, because the real way is like if someone was instructing you to be like cross, and you're doing it with your fingertips. You're just
I
like,
just do
tap.
Mine's this.
Tap.
We do that too, but I would do this, and I don't know why.
It's good though. Sorry.
This is solid.
So we would do that, and then we'd resume. But yeah, so like there was one part where this guy and I were having a conversation, and all of a sudden one of the other people we were playing with goes, "There's a hole in this wall right here," and we're like, "What the fuck?" And then everybody gathers, and there's like, "Look at all the smoke," and everybody's reacting to this thing that isn't there, and we're all like, "How did that happen? Did anybody see how that happened?" And then one person like sort of wanders off, and you're like, what's happening right now? Why are you leaving? And they're like, nothing. I don't feel so good. And you're like, and then there's another point, it's like things like that. And there's another point where,
do you leave the hotel room or
so we went out into the convention, and all this is happening.
Oh my God.
But like, it's a storytelling convention. So nobody gives a shit.
Everybody
knows.
Yeah. I could just imagine, like, if you're at like a regular hotel.
Yeah, well, there were regular hotel people there, and it was really awkward.
And like somebody catching, like, what the fuck are they talking about?
This would be really fun. I feel like
if it was between all of us, like we'd have a ton of fun.
Like I wanna do that and actually come in wearing like maybe my superhero costume
underneath.
Like, that would make me feel more like I'm involved.
So there was like this whole, and then there was another thing where one of the characters was getting back super strength, apparently, from what I could gather. And so he leaned on a chair, and he's like, "This chair is now completely broken." And he's like, "What happened?" Like describing it, and then it's like, "What happened?" And then he,
"This chair is broken."
And then we're all like, "Holy shit, you just broke that chair!" And it was just like, but it's like four of us all standing around pretending this chair is completely broken. And I'm like, "Put your hand on that table and press down." And he does it, and we're like, holy shit, and nothing's changed on the table, but everybody buys in, so we're all like, he's like, "I don't know how I just broke that table."
It really is just the one extra step, because if you're all sitting at a table just describing this, I'm like, oh, this is the coolest thing. But just imagining like being in public and just being like playing pretend like that, there's something about like in my heart of hearts, it's just like I'm cringing.
So it felt
even though like I'm sure like if I'm watching this or participating, like everybody's having such a good time that who gives a shit about who's looking,
right?
But by instinctual like protectiveness of like I don't want people to make fun or hurt or
that's the barrier. It's really hard. In the very beginning, it was really, really hard. Luckily, it ramps you up to doing that. So it was nice because there's sort of an intro where like just one thing is going weird. And then eventually more and more gets weirder.
Okay.
Gets weird. But like it felt like I was 5 years old again. Yeah. And you're like playing make-believe. That's pretty cool. And then there was another part where like the table was broken and one of the characters was like he heals stuff. But he was called the Martyr. But when he heals stuff, he absorbs the damage. So like the table was broken, and so he touched the table where I knew it was broken, and I was like, "You just healed that table," and he was like, "I think my arm is broken," and so like I had to run and get him ice and like a towel, and he was like in pain, and so we wrapped up his arm, and I like had to call on the phone for like the medic and like
power.
Yeah,
that's why it's called the Martyr.
The Martyr. And then I got knocked back by a giant blast of energy, and then I broke my collarbone, and then he touched it, and then he broke his collarbone, and then I felt bad because he sacrificed himself to help me, and it was.
I would not. Oh my god! It would help my friend, but if I knew like it was gonna like break me,
yeah,
never. No, sorry. Unless like you're like my child or like my like extreme loved one, it would no. But two. If I had a friend who was doing that for me, I couldn't be their friend. I'd be like, we can't talk. We need to become enemies so that you never hurt yourself because of me.
That's why that's the conversation we had, right? It was like, you can't be near us because we will hurt you.
Yeah. It'd be like you need to get out.
You need to leave because because you're going to just keep getting hurt. And I can't be responsible for you getting hurt.
Right.
And if I get hurt, I can't have you trying to help me and hurting yourself because then that hurts me. So like there were these emotional.
It'd be like, we can't be friends because no matter what you do, you're gonna hurt me and I'm gonna hurt you. So it's just like, but no, bye. Yeah. Bye. No, bye.
But it was interesting because the game had elements where like there was one character who had lost his wife. And in real life, not in real life, but like in
the game,
but in the human part of the game had lost his wife.
Okay.
But also had lost her on the superhero side. But
that's a bummer.
Yeah, well, but like it was paralleled, right? Like the universes paralleled each other, and that's
still a bummer to be like, damn. No matter what universe.
But every time he heard her voice in his head, one of those. Explosions would happen in the hotel. And so him being reminded of her being around all these people, because like we were all coming together after being away from each other for a while. So being around us again spurred conversations about her, and then all that stuff was happening because of her. So it was this weird like emotion. It became like an emotional journey about
weird question about the Martyr's power, because I'm never gonna like this, because I'm like, that's oh my god, that power. Can they take emotional damage?
You know, we didn't really explore that.
Because what if... Because my instant thought was like, he could be friends with the wife dude and take away that guy's pain.
He wasn't an empath.
The wife guy, he could carry that.
Right.
He wasn't an empath, I don't think. He was just a physical martyr.
Damn, that sucks.
But I mean, you know, there could be an empath. Like, we just didn't have one in our game. But there are plenty of...
Also, empaths are also the worst power.
If you're interested in the LARP for whatever reason and you wanna explore it, if this sounds interesting to you, it's called Unheroes. It is a LARP by who is this? Sorry, I'm looking.
The Martyr would be a very good doctor.
Yeah,
because it'd be like, I feel like something's wrong, and he could be like, oh, you got like an infection. That's why you feel weird.
And he'll just take the...
But it wouldn't be big. It'd be like stuff that he could like
I'm sorry, sir. You have gogonorrhea. Don't worry. I'll take care of that for you.
Unheroes by Joanna Piancastelli.
The worst.
Piancastelli. So anybody who's interested, it is... Piancastelli. It can be run in about 2 hours. Anyway, really interesting. First time I ever LARPed. I wouldn't be opposed to doing it again, but it was definitely it pushed me, which was good. Because... Most of the convention, I was super comfortable in a, not that you shouldn't be super comfortable, but like I was super comfortable doing all the stuff that
it's a different kind of uncomfortable, not the type of uncomfortable of like, ooh, I hate this, but more just like, oh, this is new.
This is weird and new, and I don't know if I haven't done this before.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, fun. It was fun.
That's cool.
It was fun. I would
See,
recommend at least trying it.
I'd rather do the LARPing where I'm not around normal people at all, because then at least I'm like, okay, this is gonna be weird, but no one here gives a shit.
Well,
but if I was like anywhere near anybody who wasn't involved in the game, I'd be like,
Well, everybody. I mean, it was in the LARP section, so everybody was sort of having.
Everybody was LARPing.
Not everybody, but like everybody who was there understood that was what was happening there.
Okay, that's not so bad.
It was like on it. We had a balcony.
I was gonna say, I'm like, did you have a whole floor of this hotel? Because that would also be amazing.
Did. No, we did. We had a whole floor of the hotel.
That's amazing, because it would be like, okay, from this time to this time, everybody keep your doors open. Everyone's open LARPing. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's how it was. So the nice thing about the convention is that I don't know how many conventions you guys have played games at, but there are most of the time you're in a big open room playing a bunch of games. And so it's very loud. And in this convention, you all go in private hotel rooms to play games. So it's like here.
Oh, I don't know how if I'd like that.
It's much, much better, believe me. It's way better because
it's not as loud.
Yeah, it's like the difference between.
Just in my head, I'm like just going to like different. All of a sudden, it turns out I was like, I don't know these strangers, and I'm going to all these rooms.
Yeah. Well, it's all the beds are put away. Everything is like shoved up against the wall, and there's just a table in the center of the room.
Can you imagine running that hotel that week?
We gotta put these beds away.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
You'd be like, what the fuck is happening?
It was so crazy.
That's a good idea. It makes it more intimate.
Yeah. It honestly, it was way better because I ran a couple of games in an open setting because they do have that as well.
Yeah.
When you don't reserve a game, when it's just like on demand kind of thing. And it was so loud, and for nobody's fault. It's just you have a ton of people in the same room, all playing an RPG, all getting excited and then yelling. It gets loud. So anyway, much better. But enough about my LARP experience. That was a whole tirade.
That was great.
These kids on bikes we've been waiting for. Neighborhood need to get the fuck out.
I know, right?
Hey, kids on bikes, get out of here.
I live across from a church.
Oh, Star, did you bring us some buttons?
I totally forgot. Sorry.
Find out next week if we get buttons.
You need,
I was gonna message you.
Are they buttons?
Yeah,
are they butt?
They're butts on buttons.
Somebody at work was listening. If you're listening, Jerry.
Shout out to Jerry.
Shout out to Jerry.
Jerry's been working real hard.
Let me just say, really hard.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Jerry, because
Hi,
my
Jerry,
God.
I don't know you, but hello.
You know Jerry.
You know Jerry.
Do I?
You met Jerry.
He was at work. Remember, he worked for Now This.
No, I wait. Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I blanked out. Everybody there is
well,
blurred.
when you were there, we weren't really working. We had worked with Jerry at WeWork.
Yes.
He was at WeWork, but
it was like adjacent.
It was like adjacent because he worked for Now This when we were there.
Okay.
He's
coming back to me. I'm like bits and pieces of his face are coming into view.
We now all work together.
Oh,
like,
okay.
He's on the development team.
Okay, now I fully remember Jerry. Yeah. Never mind. I'm sorry, Jerry. I remember. Here's the thing, like I don't remember people's names. That's the first thing to go. I'll remember your face, and until like I piece those things together. Sincerely, guys, I've forgotten your names too. Like it's all happened just over the course of like I would be active friends with you, and suddenly I'd be like, "Fuck, we just hung out like 2 days ago." I've known them for years. I don't know their name.
I do that when I see somebody I know and I'm like, shit, what's their name? And then I go on Facebook or Instagram.
Oh, yeah, I do that. That's
like,
my go-to.
Okay.
Facebook is just like, Spencer, I have legitimately forgotten your lyric old last name. I don't remember what it is.
That's okay.
Because
that's okay with me.
It's the first to go.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't need this information anymore. Bye-bye. Gone. Like, yeah.
We need that information to make buttons. Anyway, why I brought up Jerry was because when he heard about the buttons, he thought that they were the button was shaped as a butt and not that.
No, those would be butt pins.
Butt pins, Jerry.
Pins.
These aren't butt pins. These are
buttons.
Buttons.
I want to make magnets too.
Batons?
That'll be like later.
Batons.
Batons.
Baton on a
baton.
Put a bunch of butts on a baton. It'd be a baton.
Oh.
Huh. If you're a marching fan, band kid.
Majorettes.
If you're a majorette.
Majorette. Is that what they're called?
Yep. With the twirls, the twirly people with the flips and everything, the majorettes and the majors.
I wonder what they do after they majorette.
They do it in college and get a scholarship, and then they usually stop.
And that's sad.
Where do you go from there? Do you go anywhere?
I mean, not really.
Is there a career
it's like being a professional cheerleader, where like all the professional cheerleaders Like they still have to have regular jobs.
Right.
Like they're just doing that for like
really
pure joy of being a cheerleader.
No way.
It's not, and it's not
right?
fun. Yeah, it's not fun, and it's like they're on stringent rules, and like some of them like
they probably can't eat.
No, it's more stuff like they can't. They're one of the biggest things. There's like one of those NPRs did a story of a former one of a girl who like followed all the rules to the T, but she posted like a picture of her in her bikini, like at the beach to her Instagram, and she got laid off because of like like they control every part of your life.
But they don't pay you.
They don't pay you enough to like do, but you still have to follow these rules. And one of the other ones is stuff like you can't fraternize with the players, but the players don't have the rule that they can't talk to them. So the players will talk to them or try to message them on Instagram or like, you know, because they're like, oh, I'll talk to this pretty girl. And like they like the girls are like, if I respond to this, I'm fired. Or like anything. If they like acknowledge it, anything like that. And it's just like the boys don't get punished for reaching out.
That seems kind
But
of
if the woman says, please don't contact me.
Yeah.
Like she would get fired.
That seems fucked up.
Yeah, so there's like a bunch of lawsuits and stuff going on depending on the team, and it's all like individual teams, like how they like set up. Their stuff.
Seems very strange to me that we still have cheerleaders in the same way that in which we've.
It's like team morale. Like here, I don't have any problem with the actual like be a cheerleader, be a dancing. It's entertainment mostly during like halftime kind of thing.
But
like,
they're just like
they're just dancers. But like,
which is always confusing in college because they had the cheerleaders and they had the dance
squad, and then like there are different sections of.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it should. Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird that it's a bunch of. It's usually mostly women cheering on.
The Marlins had.
Do the women have cheerleaders?
In women's sports.
Like
WNBA. I don't know.
See, that feels weird, right? Does that not feel weird?
Here's the thing, though. The Marlins had the Marlins cheerleaders. I forget what they were called, but they also had a boys team called the Manatees. But they were like all like older men, like in their 40s, who were just like, but they would do dance routines, like they took it seriously. That's too, fun, yeah. Even though they were just like, because it was like a hobby. But I just like that the Florida Marlins had
the Manatees,
or is it the Dolphins? It's one of them. There's a men's group of dancers who do for one of the big sports teams, and they're the Manatees, and I'm like, that's great. It's like Florida pride in a really bonkers way, and it's like that's good.
So it doesn't look like women's sports have cheerleading, but what I did find, and I don't know how true this is, because it's just an article on the internet, so who knows? It could not be true. But apparently, according to what is this person's name? I don't know, some dude. The Australian and New Zealand Adam Howard, a software engineer at Hewlett Packard. The Australian and New Zealand National Netball League has the Telstra Net Boys, which is a boys' dance group that basically cheerlead, perform a dance routine at some games.
That's fun.
So it's for netball, and it's
I guess
a bunch of net
because
boys.
boys could be cheerleaders too, because like in high school there are boys cheerleaders.
Yeah, where do they go?
Probably gymnastics.
Honestly,
a lot of the professional cheerleaders probably go into gymnastics.
Because they're in college. There are boy cheerleaders in college.
Yeah, it's just not as common. Not as common.
They got to hold them up.
Our sponsor today is HelloFresh. HelloFresh is a meal kit delivery service that shops, plans, and delivers step-by-step recipes and pre-measured ingredients so you can just cook, eat, and enjoy. Each box is made up of fresh, responsibly obtained ingredients from carefully selected farms and high-rated, trusted sources. You can feel confident when cooking HelloFresh with simple recipes outlined on pictured step-by-step instruction cards. Cooking becomes something you actually want to do when you get home from work. You can get delicious, filling meals delivered right to your door every week for less than $10 per serving and free shipping. We just recently had the Shake It Up pork cutlets with garlic bread, and it was very good. One of my favorites. I also love the cranberry turkey burgers. You've heard me talk about those over and over, but yeah, those are some of my favorites. So, for a total of $60 off, that's $20 off your first 3 boxes, visit HelloFresh.com/WSL60 and enter WSL60 at checkout. Again, for a total of $60 off, that's $20 off your first 3 boxes, visit HelloFresh.com/WSL60 and enter WSL60 at checkout. Well, we have. I want to hit at least one of the questions.
Let's hit those questions.
So let me find the one that I wanted to ask because it was. Where is it?
This is so much fun, you guys.
I know.
I don't know. I don't know if we've already answered this one. I don't think we did.
This happens way too long.
Anime Night asks.
Anime.
Adam, What is some? We might have answered this, but I'm gonna ask it again. What is something that you always find funny? Can we answer that?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I feel like maybe, but for some reason I always find it funny, and this may not be nice.
It's a bad way to preface something. It's a bad way to come into it.
I think it's funny when I see people hit their heads on the ceiling.
Oh, Louise.
Or like a fan?
No, not a fan. Like just a hard surface on their head. I don't know why I think it's so funny. But they hit it and there's an immediate reaction like, oh! And I know because I relate to that pain as well. Yeah. I've done it before. And it's just such a quick turn of emotions. Yeah. Like you seem fine. The day's going okay. And you bump it and you have a sound effect that goes with it.
Yep.
Because it's like,
yeah, it's like, but it's kind of like you can tell it's really hard.
It's a dull thud.
Yeah, these are too hollow. Like it's just a very. Anyway, and you hear that sound effect, and then their face just changes and squints, and they're just emotions. I don't know. I think it's hilarious. I feel bad, but it's just a sudden surprise of emotion and pain.
I'm trying to.
That would be
my first thought, because I just was trying to think of things that always cracked me up, but I don't think it would work anymore. It was the Bad Robot end screen with the little monster that would go across the screen going arg, arg. The first time I saw that,
what? The Bad Robot?
Bad Robot. The end credit. It was like always after Buffy or something.
Is this the J.J. Abrams?
Yeah, it's one of those. It's like
I never saw this.
It's just at the end of Buffy, they showed like the after credit things, and then there would be like it's a white screen. It said the company name. There was a little paper monster that would go across the screen and go arg, and it was just some dude clearly just going arg, arg, in such a cadence that like at the time like I just died because it was such a like you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But you still gave a little bit of a shit because it's like right and like I've watched it before like since and like I don't but like at the time I remember every time I would look for it because I'm like this is just gonna give me the giggles.
That reminds me of something that would always make me laugh. It wasn't it isn't the thing that I haven't seen it in so long that I don't know if it'd still make me laugh. But after Jimmy Neutron, there was a splash screen for DNA Productions, and there was I think it was a 3-eyed chimp. Might have just been a regular chimp that turns around and goes, "Hi, I'm Paul." And I don't know why that was so funny to me, but
I think it was a 3-eyed chimp.
Hi, I'm Paul. Oh, that's fantastic! I love that. Like that's.
Hold on, I'm gonna play it really quick.
Can we make it more general, where it's like anything where it's
Hi, I'm Paul.
Anything where it's that humor, where it's just like a quick, distinct thing with a weird voice. Like in Thor Ragnarok when what's his name goes piss off ghost. Yeah. Oh, I died. Oh, that was the best. Like that's all I needed. I love that movie forever just because of that. Or like even in the first Thor, which I don't remember anything about the movie except him grabbing the cup and going another one.
Another.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, it's so good.
That
I remember when I showed someone Thor that
humor.
That was when somebody laughed out loud when he throws that.
Yeah.
Before you.
The "I'm dying, help me" always gets me too.
I'm dying.
No, that's fine.
Can we play it?
Here's Will coming down the spine of the hill.
No.
I'm on a log. There he goes. Gonna get some air. Hey, are you okay?
I'm dying. Help me.
I'm a log.
I'm dying.
Help me.
I don't know why. It makes me laugh every time. God.
Yeah, that's
too
good.
funny.
That style of humor. Just quick bits of like something in a funny voice.
Oh, you know what I have? I should pull this up because I don't think anybody. Well, somebody might have it, but I don't know if anybody else has this saved.
Are you gonna play what I think you're gonna play?
I think so. If I can find it.
Wait,
don't say it.
I think I know what it is.
What is it from?
Wonder Woman?
No.
Is it from?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
From
though.
Nerd?
It's from Nerd.
Oh,
so now this Nerd. Here we go.
Yeah,
ready? Yeah. This one gets me every time too.
Uh-oh, no.
Uh-oh, bad boy time.
Oopsie, boy time.
No, go away, bad boys.
An honest to God, no.
So what I've just realized is none of these have played out loud. We're hearing them in our headphones.
Oh.
So I'm gonna have to go in and dub them.
Oh my God.
Okay.
But that's fine.
I
I'll
thought
go in and play
when
'em.
you played it, I was like, it sounds so clear.
I know. Me too. I'll just go in and dub it. It's fine. I'll download the audio and put it in.
Okay.
I was like, damn, those microphones picked it up really nicely.
Yeah.
Wow, that must. I'm interested to hear what you hear
Yeah.
because it's
Just gonna be us saying like,
like,
that was
laughing.
hilarious.
Yeah. Well, good. You'll plug it in.
I'll plug them in. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not that hard. We only played 3
Hi, I'm
things.
Paul.
Hi, I'm Paul. So good. But yeah, those are a couple of things that I don't know why, but every time they kill me.
I'm in a position because I'm working on like that little short thing that I wanted to do, and long story short, I'm trying to find like an end card because I think that's fun.
Yeah.
And I haven't figured it out yet. I figured once it's made, it'll come to me.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to force it because I figured
Yep.
like if I have something, I can like latch myself onto that. Like a logo, I can latch myself. I can latch my identity. That could be my cornerstone.
It's
But
funny.
As
Yeah,
like
I do that all the
As a
time.
Harmontown fan person, do you know like because you listen to like their older stuff too, right?
No, I didn't go to the back catalog.
Oh, okay, 'cause, like,
I started
his-
when they were in the studio by themselves, and now
His production studio, Starburns and stuff. Whenever he had an end card for a long time when he was still dating.
It's a good show.
Well, no, this is a different one.
Oh.
It's like his Harmon one with him. It's claymation
Oh, yeah.
looking.
Did you get that?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
The original one.
Children outside, my window's open.
And they mess with a skunk.
They did. I smell it.
Yeah, I was just
That's
like-
probably what that child's yelling about.
Is that what just happened?
You don't smell the skunk?
I have my nose is fucked
Oh,
up.
okay. It's like it's not
smells
like
bad.
intense, but it's like a mild waft of scared animal. And so the original card was him sitting on a couch with his dogs and his wife Erin, who made that.
Oh.
She made the thing. So like that was the end card, and then they got divorced. Like, and so it was like, oh,
Now it's just him
Now
alone.
it's just him alone. She still made it for him. She asked him to remake like a new. So like it's a new card of him by himself with the dogs, because she's like, well, I'm not. And he's like, yeah, that makes sense. So like they made a new card. But anyway, just random
Did
end
you get
card
that? Because at Rick and
trivia.
Morty, they do
Yeah.
that, and they had like Fremulon.
Fremulon.
which is
Not a
voiced
doctor.
by Ron
That's Ron
Swanson.
Swanson.
I
Yes, it
looked
is.
that up. I was just like, if you Google
totally is,
Fremulon Ron Swanson, like the first thing is just a website that says it's like a URL
Yeah,
that somebody grabbed, and when you click on it, it's like yes.
that is. And so but I feel like it is going to come organically.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I was gonna ask you guys if you guys have seen any movies lately, because I've seen a bunch of movies.
really,
Yeah, and I want to talk about them, but I can't if nobody's seen the movies, or I can.
Wait,
I
I,
think
don't
the-
think I have.
the-
Oh my
oh,
god,
I saw
haven't gone to a movie
the
in a
last 2
while.
movies I saw was A Star Is Born.
Okay.
Which
Have you seen The Stars Born?
Nah, no interest.
No interest. Okay.
It's good.
Nah, not my kind of movie.
Yeah, it got sad.
Yeah, not
and
my
I didn't
super not my
realize
kind
it.
of
I was
movie.
like, oh, this is sad.
Yeah.
But no, it's very good. Obviously, Bradley Cooper's very talented.
So talented.
I love
oh my
Lady
God.
Gaga. Lady Gaga's
Lady
great.
Gaga's amazing.
I love when she just starts singing. It's like, oh yeah, you're a singer. Like just
Yeah.
one note. I'm like, it's just like volume and depth
Yeah,
and color.
everything. Oh.
Everything. Like it's just
She's
effort.
gonna get like an
effort.
award for
She's
it.
gonna
She's gonna get nominated for
Yeah.
sure.
She's gonna get a what's it called? An EGOT for sure.
Okay.
You know-
Has she been in a stage show?
She's
then?
already won a.
She's won a Tony?
She's won an Emmy already for American Horror Story.
Tony's usually the hardest one.
Yeah, she's gonna
Well,
get.
she's
that.
gonna get Tony.
She's
easily.
got a gold. I'm sure she got a.
She's getting Broadway in 2
I'm
seconds.
sure she has a Grammy. She's
her
already got an
new
Emmy.
found
Hopefully she
acting
gets an Oscar, and
ability.
then now she just makes her way to the Tonys.
You were the one who told me about Greatest Showman, right?
Yes,
Okay, I still haven't seen it, but
I'm listening to it on the way over here.
But Panic at the Disco, like they're coming
Oh,
out
yes.
with a remake
I
album.
already listened to it.
And
already heard
I
it.
love that song, but I only I haven't heard the original version, so I'm like I want to go back and watch the movie now
Yeah.
because of his version of the song. But I'm so afraid. I'm like, it's not going to be the same. It's
The
going to be a
movie-
musical.
Oh yeah, you weren't here when I talked about it.
No.
Oh, yeah, you weren't
Wait, so
here.
tell me, how do you feel about it?
So I don't know if so originally I was like drunk and I watched it. I was drunk. I was like, let's just put a movie on, like whatever.
I mean, he's listened to it on the way here. What do you think he thinks about it? So it's-
No, I know.
But originally I was like, let's
I
put it
wanna-
on.
I
I don't
wanna hear
care.
it, though.
I don't agree with P.T. Barnum at all. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But I'm gonna watch it. It was just fine. Let's just put something on that I'm not gonna pay attention to. I don't end up watching the whole thing, and then I wake up the next day and I'm like, I'm gonna have to finish that fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna have to finish that movie because the song's already stuck in my head, and then I liked it. I really liked it, and the thing is that the music really carried for me. Like obviously the story was not there, but the music is what got me involved. And it got me involved so much that it worked like propaganda and was changing my view on P.T. Barnum. And I was like, nope, got to reread that. Like that, he is not a good guy.
No, not a good
guy
at all.
And so, but yeah, I mean, I listened to it today. I think it's the music for me is inspiring.
So here's what's fascinating about that movie to me is that I think that the music is very good.
Yeah.
I think that I felt like the movie had no way. It didn't. It was like the music was written, and then the movie they were like, okay, now we're gonna sing. Like it didn't feel like it went from
music was first, and then they came up with the story later.
Well,
or music
sort
was
of
priority,
and then they came up with the script around the music as opposed to having the story. Because usually what happens is like you write a show, and then when the emotions get heightened so much that speech can't do enough to be able to convey what they want. Instead of, it's sort of like a fight scene in a movie, right?
It's
like when things boil over to a point, then you have to fight.
You have to fight.
In this, you have to sing.
Right.
And so for me, it always felt like it was hollow. Like the movie felt hollow to me because the songs never felt justified, but the songs were really good.
Like when I rewatch, so I listened to the soundtrack and then I rewatched the scenes of the songs that I liked, and even some of the scenes rewatching them, I was like, man, it does not hit like the blocking.
So are you saying I should just listen to the soundtrack and just forego the movie?
Yep, that's what I think.
Because I really like the one Panic at the Disco remake of the song.
I know, and I have a problem where if it's the first thing I listen to, the second version of it I typically won't like.
Which is what I'm afraid of because I'm like,
because
I love this version.
I heard the Panic at the Disco one, and I'm like, but they didn't. They didn't put the whole song, But I understand. I mean, if it gets you in there, it gets you in there. But it's like I didn't like it as much because I prefer the original one.
Yeah,
I prefer the original one, and like when they were doing the whole like what's it called? Right here, right now, dun 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 offer out. And he's talking to Zac Efron, like that scene.
So that was my favorite scene in the movie.
Right, and I feel like still the blocking was weird to me. Like it didn't feel.
Wait, Zac Efron's in this?
Yeah,
Zac Efron's in it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it has these like
and Zenyatta.
These little ups.
Not Zenyatta, Zendaya.
It has
Zenyatta is a character from Overwatch.
It has these like ups that are really cool.
Yeah.
Like when the movie starts off and it has those like the tableau of him like just like get it going, like, oh, this is fucking cool.
But see, then they pulled out and all of the animals were CG.
Yes,
and I was like, oh my!
And then there's one scene when they're doing the million,
it looks so bad.
million whatever, the Million Dream song, and they're dancing on the roof with Michelle. And then the fucking they're on top of the roof and they're putting out the
clothes on the clothesline,
on the clothesline like drapes to dry.
Yeah,
and the drapes are swinging with the music.
Yeah,
which conceptually is kind of cool if you could do it, but they look so CG to me.
Yeah,
that I was like, oh, this is kind of.
And there was a deeper problem for me with it, with some of the characters that were the freak show characters.
Yeah,
because I didn't ever get a strong idea of what they wanted, and the movie didn't really know how it felt about them, because sometimes it wanted them to be excited to be different and happy that they were individuals, and other times they wanted to be treated like they were normal and like there was nothing weird about them. And the movie never gave us a consistent view of the movie didn't have a message with them. It wasn't like be who you are, because that's what's important. But it also wasn't like even if you aren't like everybody else.
They didn't do, even if they were wishy-washy on it, they didn't do it in a believable
it wasn't
way.
Like it wasn't like the character was conflicted, like I love who I am, but I also want to be treated normal.
Yeah.
It was like, no, I demand to be treated normally. Also, I'm weird and I love that I'm weird and I'm not like you. and you're like,
there was no nuance between.
Yeah, like
the
some
two sides
songs,
of the
some
thing.
songs they were
'Cause I
like,
was I know a lot of people who are like in that boat.
There's a place
like,
for that.
it's like-
but the movie didn't
Yeah.
I didn't get the message. Like there was not a message from them about what the message was. Not you can live on both sides. The message was
They were
like,
just
no,
inconsistent.
this is
They were just like, this is good for the mood right now.
exactly.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And a lot of the times like
This kind of reminds me
they
of...
sort of felt like a tool to be which is
Yeah.
fitting for the show, but also not the tone of the movie at all, because it was like P.T. Barnum did use them, and so you see that in there, but it's weird because the tone of the movie is like, no, he loves
he's the
these
hero.
people,
Yeah,
and he loves these people, but then you're like, no, he doesn't, like, they have no value, and then they do at the end.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't quite. So anyway, there's a lot of stuff about the movie itself that didn't really work
I feel
for
like that
me.
movie could have deserved more time. Like we could have, like it was
Or
too-
just make it Sweeney, or just make him a bad person.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I don't know. Like if they just embraced that he was a bad person, we're like, hey, this person's real
But
shitty.
I love like the song
know.
circle around him like a dreams
Yeah.
and
but
and
how
pursuing something.
but how cool would it have been if you're like, oh yeah, he's a shitty person because he lives in his own reality.
Oh no! Then I feel like I'd be living in my own reality.
Exactly. Then it has a
I don't
message.
want. That
just
music is supposed to inspire me to move.
I just recently saw Can You Ever Forgive Me? Do you know what that movie is?
don't
It's
know.
the Melissa McCarthy movie about the real life author who forged letters from famous authors and famous people basically to sell so that she could make money. Her name was Israel.
Oh.
This is. I'm sorry. What is this? This was a what?
Israel. This is a movie called
Movie.
Can You Ever Forgive Me? I'll look it up. Hold on. It is about Lee Israel. Lee Israel was a she was a
Is this
actually
is this a comedy?
kind of
Dark comedy?
definitely dark comedy leaning towards drama, but it's sort of a tragedy.
Okay.
It's a true story. And Melissa McCarthy plays this author who is down
Did it
on her
just
luck.
come out?
It came out a little bit ago in limited
Okay.
release.
Okay.
But it's got a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
Interesting.
It's very good. Anyway, she is shitty. She's like the worst person.
Oh, I don't know if I'd be able to watch
And
this.
the movie's really enjoyable. And I'm like, if they had made the movie like this.
Right. But they wanted to make it a big spectacle.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
But I think they could have done that and shown like, hey, sometimes you're Icarus. Sometimes you try and fly too
Right.
close to the sun and everything falls. And yep, we're
Right.
motioning to the
cards.
to the cards. Sometimes you try so hard and you get so far, and in the end, it doesn't really matter.
Eh.
You know.
Speaking of, the
To quote the famous philosopher, Lincoln. Is it Lincoln Park?
no,
who
it
is
doesn't
it?
really matter.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Queen.
in the
No.
end, it doesn't
I
really
tried
matter.
so
Bohem-
hard
Bohemian Rhapsody.
and got so far.
But in the end,
Nothing really matters.
it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, Lincoln Park.
Oh, that's
Lincoln Park.
Oh,
The
we're doing
famous.
two different songs.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
no,
you're doing Bohemian
Yeah, I'm
Rhapsody.
doing Bohemian
No.
Rhapsody.
I'm doing In the End by Lincoln Park.
Ah, okay. Fair enough.
Yep. The famous
But
philosopher,
quick before
Lincoln
I
Park.
forget this, because I've been trying to say this point, but I keep like, did you guys ever watch Across the Universe?
Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't seen Greatest Showman, and it's been a long time since I've watched Across the Universe, but I feel like the people watching Greatest Showman have the same feelings I had about watching Across the Universe, and I'm afraid to rewatch it because I'm like, I have a feeling this is a very bad movie, but I remember really liking it. It's because I liked all the songs. It's the Beatles.
Yeah.
And like, they definitely
Yeah.
did the same thing of they wrote a story around the songs.
Yeah.
Because like you have great songs.
Honestly,
Right.
I feel
So
like
I,
Across
like-
the Universe did it better.
Okay, good. Because one of those where I'm like, I haven't seen it in a while, and I have a real weird feel. I was like, oh, is it good?
And Across the Universe, I don't think is a great movie, but I think it integrated
really
the
beautiful
songs. It was
visuals. The
yeah.
songs are
No, there's a
good.
lot good about it. I'm just saying, like as a movie, I think it lacked
Yeah,
some
it's
stuff.
Like, it's definitely missing something.
I also
But-
think the album to Greatest Showman's short.
Oh yeah.
There's like, I'm done with this already.
Well, it's the people who
There-
wrote La La Land, which is really interesting.
Well, it's
It's the lyricist.
it's the lyricist. Yeah, it's the lyricist. And
I
so
still haven't seen La La Land.
there's two reprises of two songs.
Yeah.
And then that's like half the album.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's crazy. So I also saw First Man. Guessing
Heard
First
of it,
Man.
have not seen it.
First Man. What
Ryan
is
It's
it?
about
Gosling?
space.
Oh yes.
About Neil
the
Armstrong?
guy who directed La La Land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything
just-
comes back to La La Land.
I didn't. didn't see First Man because I was like, I love space, but space movies are always like terrifying. They never like are just like space is awesome and fun. It's always like space is scary as fuck and you could die at any moment. Space.
Yes, that's true.
Like, so I don't like watching space movies because I want to keep thinking space is the best.
So First Man was very good, very slow. I wouldn't watch it again, but it was pretty good. Have you seen it? Have you seen anything about it? Okay, so I would recommend watching it. It
seems like the director's trying to stretch himself.
Yeah, it was a biography about Neil Armstrong, and it was incredibly accurate. Like from what I've read and what I've seen, like all the articles say that it's very accurate.
It's one of those movies where I'm like, well, I know what happens. It's
right,
why
but
I want to see the drama and tension, like his poor family.
But it's basically about a man who doesn't know how to deal with his emotions, so he goes to space.
Whoa.
That's typical.
Like to escape his feelings, he goes to space. That is the movie in a nutshell, and it's real emotional. It's very good. One of my criticisms is that I feel like the first 2/3 of the movie do a really good job, and then the last third really slows down and doesn't quite stick the landing, but it is worth the journey.
Well, it's funny because he has to stick the landing.
I'll probably get a screener.
Yeah. It's well. So I saw it in IMAX.
Oh, okay.
Using my A-list.
A-list, baby.
And it was worth it to see it in the IMAX because it is
space. It's so
space.
Space always looks good in IMAX. Yeah.
And it was the cool thing about it is that it has some of the most realistic perspectives on space travel. So like where I thought that I was.
Can I just get a documentary without like the drama? Can I just show me all the good space bits? And like all the sciencey stuff without like all the emotional drama and like the fear aspect of it. Like I just want like.
So it is terrifying. It is absolutely terrifying because what I didn't realize about this, and this is not spoiling anything because you guys already know what happens. He goes to space. He goes
to space. He does the thing.
It gave me context for what was happening during the space race, which was one that Russia was beating us at every turn. They were outpacing us at all the tests that we were both doing.
Because they didn't give a fuck.
Right. They didn't give a fuck. They didn't care about human life. So they would do these crazy tests with, and just risk it.
Right.
For the biscuit. And so, but the other perspective, or the other like part of that perspective it gave me, were you still laughing at that? The other part of the perspective it gave me was that these people worked really hard, obviously, and they had a lot of like science behind them, but oh my god, we had no idea what we were doing. We threw a metal cylinder with a bunch of rockets strapped to the bottom into space and hope it hit the moon. Like they did calculations and they did all the math and stuff.
You can go see pieces of all this stuff over at the California Science Center. And just straight up, and they also have like the retired shuttle there. You could just go up and like you're like, I'm looking at the shuttle. It's huge.
so like, but this thing, the first one to go up.
But they have the capsule. They have the capsule that they would land back in.
Yeah, was absurd. And like the way that you so they have these really great angles in the movie. The director did a really good job of creating tension inside of the capsule. Because when I think of space travel, when I think of people going to space, I always picture like. Well, yeah, floating like stars doing right now. But also, like, when you get in, I always picture, like, they would have them lean back, but, like, they're in these chairs, and they have space, and there's, like, all the buttons are above them, and they're able to, like, move and, do their shit. Like, they have the whole thing in front of them. It is...
it's tight, but it's comfortable.
Yeah, it's comfortable. It's like a way... They strap them down, and there's a specific shot in the movie where they're getting in the space shuttle for the very first time. They're they're getting strapped in. And the camera takes the POV, it oftentimes takes the POV of Armstrong so that you get the sense of what things are from his point of view. Mm-hmm. And he lays down in this thing, and it's behind his glass. Like behind, what I mean by that is behind the helmet glass.
Yeah.
He lays down, and it is... so he is laying in this seat. There are 1,000 buttons in front of him, tiny panels. He has huge gloves on in the spacesuit. The glass of his thing is reflecting all the lights inside of the space shuttle, and he just gets like these straps brought across him and like tightened down, and he has to be able to run an entire spaceship like that. And I was just like, oh, this is how people die.
It's like, oh, this sucks.
This would be the worst condition to be going to space in, because you have to know what all of these things do and hit them at the right time and like know but also you're stuck in a thing. And on top of that, the minute you take off, everything is shaking. Like they do a really good job of like showing how much things actually shake. And so everything's shaking and you can't see anything and your hands are shaking and trying to, and then once you get to space, it's weightless, so you just feel like you're falling off of a roller coaster the entire time you're there, in your stomach, right? Like they show the effects of like weightlessness on the body. It's like those vomit comets, right? Where you go into anti-gravity and then everything just floats. So once you reach space, it's not even like you get a relief. You stop, your engines stop, and then you're sitting in orbit feeling like you're gonna puke.
So it's not fun to be weightless because it looks fun.
Well, I think they get used to it, right? Like they do enough training to get used to it.
But stomach is
it's
rising.
like being on a ship or a boat where it's just like that constant motion and your ears aren't used to it. So it's that.
It's like it really shows you how fucking brilliant and heroic and brave, like
they went
stupid
to space
these people
on,
were.
like technology that is like pretty much like a calculator.
Yeah,
like not like this. What we have in our pockets every day,
way more powerful than the ship.
So much more advanced than anything they did to go to the moon.
So anyway, I would see it simply to watch how hard they had to work to be able to be the first people to the moon. It was like mind-blowing. And then also on top of that,
and it's also why we haven't come back,
right?
Because it's like, holy fuck,
all of the stuff that Neil Armstrong and his whole crew did scientifically, but then their personal drama as well, that was very accurate apparently to what actually occurred. To be dealing with everything that he was dealing with and be focused enough to be able to go to space and do the mission
with all the emotions he was dealing
because
with.
They were like
they expected them not to come back.
They gave them like a 95% chance they weren't going to come home.
Damn.
And so he had to leave his whole family and be like, I'm probably not coming home. Sorry guys, goodbye.
It's good. This is also why I'm like, I'd be the
really
worst like emotional person with this. Would be like, I'm not telling them shit. What do you mean? And I know, I'm sure that was part of the thing.
He tries to leave without saying goodbye to his family. Spoiler alert, but not spoiler alert. He tries to just leave.
I would say bye, but I would act like I'm coming back for sure. Like I would just blank face like, what do you mean? Oh no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Safe. It's cool. I just do that.
But your significant other deserves to know the odds if you're gonna make it or not.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Like, if I'm not going to make it, you need to know, like, listen, there's a chance I might not make it. This is also me
speaking as a single person, because you could tell the perspective here where you're like, your significant other, and I'm like,
they have to know.
I was like, do they know? Because if I go to space and I die, I don't have to deal with the consequences of my actions.
No, your team, you got to know.
But if I survive and I come back and I live, it's just like, look, I came back.
No,
like,
then you don't have a family to come home to. That's how that works.
It'd be like, no, look, I was right.
And that's when they leave forever.
They would never know the odds.
Don't tell me the odds.
Don't tell.
So I have one more movie I want to talk about.
Or I would just be like, they didn't tell me. They didn't tell me the odds. I was always on the assumption I was coming back. You mean I could have died? I would have.
That wouldn't go over.
This is also.
Have you seen Bad Times at the El Royale? Anybody?
No, I forgot about that. I want to see that movie.
Okay.
I forgot about that.
It's ridiculous and fun. You guys see it. Okay, I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to spoil it.
That'll be the next movie I should see.
Oh boy,
right?
It was a good movie. It wasn't a great movie, but it was definitely worth seeing. It was really fun.
I don't know anything about this movie. What is this movie?
I don't want to. It's sort of like one of those movies where you don't want to know too much going in. You just want to go see it. It is about 7 strangers who show up at a hotel and all have a secret to hide.
Oh, nice, fun. I'll watch that. That sounds like a good old jaunt. Is it like
Bad Times at the El Royale?
Bad Times at the El Royale.
Bad Times at the Royale.
It is.
Is it along those lines, like 7 Psychopaths kind of vibe?
Not really. It's so the 7 strangers are a cleric, like a pastor, a soul singer, a traveling salesman, 2 sisters, the manager, and then a mysterious.
As soon as she's cleric, I'm like, okay.
A cleric, a bard, a fighter, a rogue.
Do they all fit into those though?
Maybe. Cleric. Let's see. A pastor, a bard, A traveling salesman. That's sort of bardish.
So two bards.
So 2 bards, sisters.
They could be
rogues. They're rogues.
Okay.
Manager, paladin, mysterious figure, another rogue.
It could be wizard. Or even wizards. Or any of them.
He is. I don't want to say. I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
He's the key to all of it. And
Secret wizard.
I don't know what he is.
It's like Oscar season. So
anyway,
all the movies are going to be coming out.
Anyway, it's really fun.
The Crimes of Griswold. What is it?
I'm not going to see it. I'm not.
I see the posters and like who will change the future.
Who saw?
I was like, Potter.
Potter
changes the future. We know the answer to this question, Billboard.
Who saw Venom?
I did.
Did you see Venom?
I did.
I have not. I've only seen the fan art, and I love the fan art, and I don't want to go see it.
I did see
So
Venom.
how was it? Because I haven't seen it, and I.
You haven't seen it?
Nope, I didn't.
I went into it. Okay, a lot of people were like, "This is gonna be shitty," and I looked at the movie, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not. Okay,
it's fine.
Let's watch it. It's gonna be like a B movie. Let's watch it.
Yeah,
and it's not terrible. It's kind of fun. I
cool.
kind of had fun
If you go in with expecting it just to be like ridiculous
like
and fun,
if you go into it thinking of it like a B movie,
a B sci-fi movie,
it's pretty fun. Like they don't. It's not like I don't know. It's not
that deep.
Yeah, but it's not sterile, and it's not. You can't see them like trying to force something. Like there is some fun to be had.
Okay, cool.
Sure that they're following like certain like
a formula,
but it's like I think the way that they did the Venom suit was really like I think I enjoyed that. I enjoyed some of the bits that they had.
Yep.
I felt that some of the scenes between characters were like not awkward, completely awkward.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean I thought it was gonna be worse and it wasn't.
Cool. Okay.
So
well, I should watch it.
I haven't. I'm probably gonna wait. It's just because I've just seen all of this great fan art. People really like to ship Venom and what's his face, whatever his name is.
Who?
The guy he is.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy's charker. What's
Brock.
Brock. So there's a lot of
Brock?
Venom.
Is that his first name?
Wait,
yeah. There's
Brock.
a lot of Brock Venom like slash fan art situations.
I typed in
like,
Venom Brock.
People are really into this
I typed
monster
in
fucking
Venom Brock on Google, and the first result is Venom Brock kiss. So
yeah. There's a lot of
and then Venom Brock
because
makeout.
like he comes out and then
there's
he
a lot of
separates?
like people,
Eddie Brock.
People just
Eddie
have
Brock.
people are just putting out
Eddie
all
Brock.
their kinks into the situation.
Well, there are
but I like the funny fan art. Like there's one that I saw where he's at the grocery store and I guess Venom's just like tucked away in his junk and he notices and he's like, "What are you doing down there?" And he's like, "It's warm." And he's like, "Get on there!" And it's like it's a supermarket and then he got kicked out of the supermarket because he's yelling at his crotch. Because Venom is like, "It's warm down here. It's nice."
Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty.
There's also one of apparently since this character in the MCU doesn't have the bad beef with Spider-Man, which is in the comics is like their big thing. This means that this Venom and current Spider-Man could have a fresh relationship start, and who would not want to always protect Spidey because it's this adorable cinnamon roll of
right.
Yeah.
Because Eddie Brock could be like, no, he's a good guy. He's like, fine, let's not eat him.
So there's a lot of fan art of him interacting with Spidey and just being like, why are you a superhero? And getting really mad at Tony Stark, who is like a war criminal essentially, with his. So there's like people are already making like new things.
I'm sure it'll be like a Batman v Superman type of situation.
Yeah, but the stuff that I've seen is like people going like Tony ends up assigning Venom to be like, oh, I guess you're gonna watch over him. So you're not, and just him being like, oh fuck, now I'm a babysitter to this kid.
It's
and I'm like, I love it. I want that. Please put that in the new things. I want more just good interactions with everybody.
They lead to what the sequel will be. I don't know if you care about what that is, but
I don't. You can spoil it.
It's gonna be another Venomish character. I don't like that.
Is there another Venomish
There's
character?
tons of them.
Oh, well,
I watched the YouTube
there's
video.
a lot of symbiotes.
Yeah, there's a lot of yeah, exactly. And they get more powerful as they breed with other ones.
I was thinking about the way that Jenny Slate said symbiote in.
Apparently that's correct.
It is correct.
Yeah.
Symbiote? Oh.
They're both correct. Well,
They're both correct.
Symbiote.
But there's a whole thing when it came out that she was like symbiote, and everybody was like, "What are you saying?"
I would have not even known.
Right.
I'd have been like, "All right." There's a manga called Parasite that the whole Venom situation reminds me of. It's a very good manga. Same thing. It's aliens come down. They like try to get into people's brains, and it's a lot of like body gore. I could only read it because I can't watch any of it because it's gross.
Yeah.
But reading it, it's fine because it's black and white and nothing's red. But like this guy, like he wakes up because he's wearing headphones, so the thing couldn't go in his ear. So it's trying to go in through his hand, and then he feels it and he stops it. So the thing merges with his hand. So now he has like a little alien hand that turns into like knives and shit.
Weird.
But whenever they interact with other aliens who are like straight up like the whole thing, it's like they fight each other. And I was just like, that's not. So somebody described the Venom plot. I was like, that sounds like Parasite.
It is, yeah.
But like, yeah, they get smarter. They learn. There's a lot of like weird shit.
Their offspring becomes more powerful than themselves.
Oh,
that's how
dangerous.
That's how the thing goes. And then I saw a Broadway show.
What'd you see?
I saw Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh,
like
yes,
it?
at Abramson.
I've heard it's good.
Yeah,
At the Abramson, is that what you saw? Okay,
Sarah
cool.
got lottery tickets, and then we're like, okay, cool. And then we got like row E.
It's
so
one of my
we were
favorite
right in
shows.
the front in the middle.
Amazing.
And I went into it not knowing anything, and I was like, okay, let's just see what happens. Yeah, it was pretty fun.
I feel like that's the best way to go into
the
any
music.
musical.
Yeah.
It's to just be like, I don't know what this is.
I don't know.
And,
What
like,
and there was a person right next to me who I think won the lottery as well, because she was like secretly singing like tap tap tap, you know, like she was like dancing to it.
I mean,
She was
I want to
so
see
excited.
Wicked because I don't know barely anything about it except again via
It's coming
fan
back.
art.
It's coming here in
and I
LA.
want to see that one. Just
I've seen
'cause I'm
Wicked
like,
a bunch. It's really it's very good. If you haven't seen it before, it's very good. I've seen it so much.
If I wasn't like heavily in debt, I would fly to Puerto Rico and
go,
watch Hamilton, because the tickets go on sale November 11th. So I
mean,
would get tickets and fly to Puerto Rico.
I'm giving you bad
and
advice
watch
right now
Lin-Manuel.
because I too am heavily in debt. But I'm like, what's a little bit more debt?
I know. What is a little bit more debt? To see the man
in his homeland.
God damn it, that'd be so cool. How I gotta sell something. I gotta sell.
I mean,
universe, give me money. I just need money to go to Puerto Rico.
I know.
Yeah, Hamilton's also from a Caribbean island. It's kind of like it's faded.
Yeah.
I mean, I genuinely looked up my DNA to see if I was maybe related to Hamilton at all. He's not from my island. He did not go there.
I wanna.
Yeah. No, Dear Evan Hansen's real good. The music's really good.
Yeah.
There's a couple songs that just when the waving through a window that just get stuck in your head.
Yeah, that song is. I listened to it one time and it's stuck in my head.
Yeah, very good. I wanted to recommend. I don't want to talk about it too much, but I want to recommend a show that we've both watched, which I already sort of touched on, which is The Haunting of House Hill.
Not watching it.
Hill House. The Haunting of Hill House.
Nope, we'll never watch that show.
That's totally fine. If you like family drama with a little bit of horror.
Little bit of horror?
Yeah, it's mostly family drama, and then all of a sudden there's like weird shit that happens.
I mean, if you're reacting this way about Sabrina,
yeah,
I couldn't watch the trailer. I watched the trailer, Sabrina.
Of Sabrina?
Yeah, and I was just like, nah, I can't do this one.
What? It's like a.
I loved all the visuals. I was like, this is a beautiful show.
Yeah, it's fun.
But I was like, I can't. I was like, no, this is like for real, like evil shit. Like I'm like, I'm gonna get spooked, and I like my witch lore and things like that, and I also don't want to really be influenced by it.
Yeah.
But like two, it's like I don't like witches being actually spooky.
Satanic, yeah.
Like satanic is fine, but actually like evil, like
yeah.
What comes with the package if you're satanic? You got to have a little.
No. Do you watch the show Lucifer? I don't think so.
I don't watch Lucifer.
It is a bad show that I still adore, but it is bad. But it's fun, and Lucifer's not evil. He's just a fallen angel.
Interesting.
He's kind of evil. He's kind of evil, but not like evil. He's like learning to be like not evil.
Yeah.
So like The Good Place. So what you're saying is it's The Good Place.
Yes, The Good Place.
Good Place is real good.
No, this is more like.
Started watching The Good Place.
You did?
Yeah.
Ha
ha.
Where are you at?
Just like the 4th episode.
You're the 4th episode of The Good Place?
It's very good. It's very, very good.
Good.
Are you up to date?
I'm caught up.
I think I'm an episode because they're releasing.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
watch them on Fridays.
Hulu, yeah.
On Hulu.
Yeah.
Well, great. That's awesome. What a great journey you're gonna have.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna have so much fun.
Haunting of Hill House, go watch it because there's one of the episodes. I think it's episode 6 where it's some of the most insane filmmaking I've ever seen in my whole life. Holy shit! I don't understand who the guy who directed it. What is his name? Who wrote it and
I was looking on IMDb. Apparently, he directed all of them.
Yeah,
like it's his little show.
Baby. His name is, giving a shout out to, your name is Mike Flanagan. Mike Flanagan. Holy shit. Episode 6 blew my mind. You already knew it was gonna blow my mind.
He was just like, this is gonna fuck people up.
Yeah, you did this knowing it would blow my mind, but Mike, you blew my mind. So good work.
My quick Netflix recommendations or just recommendations. Hilda, watch that cartoon.
Hilda's so good.
It's so fucking good.
Oh,
it's so fucking good. It's a good cartoon. Good cartoon,
so
guys.
good. It's one of my
Solid.
favorites.
Heartwarming. wholesome.
We've been watching it, and I'm trying not to get. We're trying not to get through it too fast because it's only.
Oh, I blazed through that in like a night. Oh my god, it's so good.
They're like
so
20-minute
good.
chunks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, and I stayed up way too
10
late to finish
episodes?
it.
Yeah, it's really good. You should watch it.
No, that's easy.
It's
I'll
very,
do it-
very
I'll do it
good.
on the
Beautiful
Metro.
scenery.
Beautiful.
The art is.
I'll do it on the Metro.
The art is
I've started
unreal.
rewatching it just to have like something pretty in the
Yeah.
background.
That's cool. Yeah.
And
that's so
the Adam
good.
Sandler comedy special.
Yes.
Whoa!
We started
I hear
watching that
about
too.
Things. I hear people talking about that.
I kept hearing other comedians going like, "This is legitimately really good." And I was like, "Well, I really?" I was
Yeah,
like, I guess. And I put it on. I'm like, just, I'm not like dying laughter.
You know what? He has
but
that-
like, he keeps catching me with the same kind of humor
Yeah.
where it's just like I'm talking and then all of a sudden drops something bonkers and I'm like, okay.
Well,
yeah,
he's
that's
been making
hilarious.
all these kind of like.
He's making his money.
He's been making all his money.
making his money.
He's making movies. I heard it somewhere where he's like, I think it was.
He's doing it to hang out with his friends.
Yes, to hang out with his friends. He's like, we can just go to Hawaii and make a movie and hang out. Like a couple therapy, that movie. I think that's
Yeah.
what it was. He was like, yeah, we just went out to go like to Hawaii and hang out. Like that one movie with Drew Barrymore.
51st Dates.
And then they had the sequel, quote unquote.
There was a sequel?
No, but it was like an official sequel. Bleached or
Oh, okay.
you know what I'm talking about?
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
look it up.
But I
Adam
get what you're saying.
Yeah, they did it. So he's just been like
50
having.
First Dates, I hate that movie because the premise really like upset me. But
Now
Really?
he's releasing his creative juice.
oh well,
I
yeah,
guess,
yeah. Now,
on the
but
stand
he's
up.
always kind of had like pockets of like I want to actually make some art.
Yeah.
Well, the Meyerowitz stories. I don't know if you guys have watched that.
No, I
Meyerowitz
haven't.
stories, new and selected. Really good. You should watch it. He's very, very good in that.
Wow, okay.
Like some of his best
the only
acting.
serious movie I've watched him in was Spanglish, and that was one of those movies where I've only watched it once because it made me cry too much. I'm like, this is really tragic and sad and too real, and just.
Yeah,
cry.
the Meyerowitz stories is like that too. It's very real. It's really good. But there is no excuse for the movie The Cobbler. No excuse.
Money.
No excuse. Nope.
Just make your money.
None.
Hang out with your. Honestly,
Blended? Is that what it was?
What
What's
a
that?
great
Blended?
deal.
Blended.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
What a great deal where it's just like, hey, you guys all want to hang out, be my buddies, and we'll hang out together. We'll work, but we're all making money to hang out and like just make a thing, and we'll all like profit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's
so
ridiculous.
nice. That's so nice.
It's insane. that
Luis,
they
make
can
a
do that.
movie in Hawaii and pay us all. Let's go do that.
I'm at a place.
Why not, Luis?
Yeah, why not? Huh? Why not?
Why don't you just do that, Luis?
I'm trying to be a little perfectionist about what I'm making. Maybe I should just make it, and if it sucks, and I just keep making.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
we like all have fun, and that's the best.
Yeah, I know. I need to learn how to have fun again.
But then you can just remake it.
Yeah.
But it costs money.
Yeah, but
can
I
get
should just
funding.
I should just frame it as having fun and not trying to make something perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I've had to learn to do that.
Because
what,
it's like
I
stopping
don't
me in
wanna
my
do
tracks.
that.
I'm like, just fucking do it. It's gonna suck. Just who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Like I want to. And yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm going through right now.
Yeah. Well, you just gotta have fun with it, because otherwise,
Yeah.
why are we doing
And I
it?
can trust. I
You
can
know?
trust y'all. I could always give it to you and be like,
Yeah.
"Mm,
Is
don't
it
do
is
that."
it good?
And
Is
like,
it
make
bad?
this better, and
Yeah.
then we could be like, oh, I don't know. Well, we know what we need: reshoots.
Yeah. I mean, I just need to. Yeah. I don't know. I just need to do it. I need to start doing it.
Yeah. Just
You know
do
what
it.
I mean?
You can.
I'm
You
afraid.
can do it.
It's just like, oh, but this shot's not gonna
It's
look
perfect
good.
if it's
This-
imperfect. How about if you go
I
with
know.
that?
I know.
You go
I
with
want
that.
it to look a certain way, but obviously it takes years to get there, and that's fine. Just gotta start doing it.
Yeah. It's the only way to do it. It's the only
I
way
know.
to practice. Somebody, what did somebody tell me? Somebody told me. Hold on, I'll
I'm
pull
trying
it
to
up.
frame it.
I got a
have,
good.
I
got
gotta
a
have
good
fun
little-
with it. You know what I mean? Like,
If
fuck it. I just gotta fucking do it.
Yeah.
I got a
do it. Damn it.
good piece of advice from a
Where
friend of
that's
mine.
No.
Corn.
Oh.
They said,
Your favorite band?
"This may be no
They had a
reassurance."
really good animated music video. That's all I
really?
know about Korn.
Oh, okay.
They said, "This may be no reassurance, but the way to learn stuff is to practice, and that means fucking stuff up." And I was like, "That
Yeah.
seems about right."
Yeah.
Yeah, I always do the.
It's just hard because then other people. Yeah, well, fuck it. I don't care.
Yeah, I always do
That may be
the.
my end
I'm not
card.
supposed to be good at this yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I tell myself when I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
It's like,
No.
you're not supposed to know right now.
You're not. You're
The
not.
whole
You're
point
not.
is that you're trying to figure
You're
it out.
not. Yeah, you're just doing it.
And that's
Whatever.
okay.
That's okay. Let's
Yeah.
have fun.
Because that's part of it. I mean, but the thing is, like, even people that are in positions making things
They don't
that
know
are,
what the fuck they're doing.
yeah, we're all the same. We're just, I mean, there are some people who just know what they're doing, and that's the
Right.
people that have done it a whole bunch, and
Yeah.
they've done it a
And-
whole bunch because
and-
they've been
Right.
doing it a whole bunch. Like,
And-
you know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
And to be fair, some of those people, like, that's all they did. Like,
Yeah.
it's the
Like
only
a-
thing, like a laser beam focus of, like, this is what I'm going
What's
to do.
his
Like,
name?
I don't.
Fantastic Mr. Fox guy. What's
yeah,
his name?
Wes Anderson.
Yeah, like he's like, this is what I do. This is what I know how to do. I'm gonna
Right.
keep doing this. 'Cause
But
people
I-
like
that's
this.
I can imagine that he also sometimes in the beginning of his
You
career
think every once in a
didn't
while
know what he
he's
was
like,
doing.
maybe asymmetrical?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I think I like a lot of different things, so it spreads me thin.
Yeah.
So it's understanding why it's taking me so long and why it's hard for me to nail in, and also like, oh, I don't feel like I'm good enough to do that, but I should just do it anyway. And
Right.
even if it's terrible, who gives a fuck? Let's just have fun. You know?
I'm gonna add on to the famous quotes. You know how everyone says like jack of all trades, master of none. You know there's another line after that.
No.
Yeah, that's the thing that always gets left off.
Yeah.
It's better than none. So jack of all trades, master of none, but better than none.
Oh, okay. Well, that
Yeah.
makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
I just feel like people who are really good, I've learned that they've just focused their entire life on that one thing.
Well,
know?
and
That's
what
boring.
and yeah, I was gonna say what we have to remember about that is
Yeah.
that because I was having a conversation with somebody that we know that's in the office that works with us who isn't permanent. I don't want to say his name because I don't want to throw people under. I don't want to like name names, but he was telling me about a friend of his that is very successful and cuts it. You'll know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Who cuts
Yes.
very like he cuts TV shows that we know.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, I just wish that I could be doing that. And I was like, yeah, but is that guy happy?
Yeah.
And he was like, not really.
And then my mind's like, like,
and so
how can you not be happy with
right?
Like,
He was like, no, he's sort of just like us. And I was like, all right, well, like just take that as a little grain of salt. Like just because that's what you have doesn't mean that you're happy. Just because you've gotten to that point in your career doesn't mean you're happy. It doesn't mean that you're happy if you're doing the things that you love and you're able to like express that
And
in
have fun.
have fun
Yeah.
and enjoy the people in your life too. Like that's what will make you happy.
Yeah.
And so there's this realization that
we live in such a critical world.
it's
where
right. Success is measured by like, are you famous?
There's like
or like,
and it's like you
weird
don't-
marks.
we're in rooms where people are talking about stuff and they're like, well, I liked this, but I didn't like that. I like this, I didn't like that. And then it's like, shit, people are going to say that about my thing, but I need to let that go and be like, yeah, people will say that stuff. And it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
You know,
But also,
it's
like-
an expression of who you are as a person, and you're learning. It's a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to separate. You 100%, no matter what you make, separate yourself from what you're making.
Yeah.
So that if they critique the thing, this is just speaking as like as an artist.
Yep.
I'm drawing, so there's always going to be critiques. It's never like perfect. It can't be. But like hearing criticism, things like that, it's just knowing to be like, oh, like that thing I'm making, they're not talking about me. That's just the thing I did.
Yeah, that's true.
They're talking about the thing, but not
Your worth isn't that
yeah,
thing.
mind you, like that disconnect. I don't know if that helps me out like emotionally in other places, but like that's how I like work.
Yeah.
Like I don't get attached to anything until it's like out and done.
Yeah.
But that's just like to work
Yeah.
it with other people because otherwise I would go insane. But like even just like as like personal stuff, like when we like print Ruby, like I could look back at stuff immediately and be like, oh, I could make that art better. And if I see somebody like critiquing something where it's like, oh, you have no idea where the story's going, you're already making occasionally there's comments where they're just like, meh, I don't like this, and you're like, you have no idea where it's going. You're complaining about something that hasn't happened or doesn't exist.
Yeah,
but
it's
that's what
all
they're
in your head.
complaining about. I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, but if I like was so attached to it, I'd be like, they don't know what they're, like.
That's me. That's me on this other side of the screen, brooding about these people that are commenting that have no idea.
Oh, really? I think it's
I'm
hilarious.
fine.
I'm always just like,
I just think
you
it's
know nothing. Or even if they're on point, I'd be like, because every once in a while somebody will comment, and it's usually way later where they're like noticing something, and I'm like, oh, you're on it.
Yeah.
Like, you're picking up the
Yeah.
cues, and then I get excited for that because I'm like, oh, the cues are being picked up.
Yeah, there are clues being planted along the way as to what's happening, and some people are picking them up, which is really cool. But I was also going to say we're surrounded by people that have done way bigger stuff than we've ever done, and just learn. It's sort of like the Beverly Hills thing, where it's like learning to be okay with the fact that some people have gone and done
which is fine.
things.
Yeah.
It's fine because are we happy?
That's what matters. Yeah.
Are we doing things that we love?
Yeah.
Are we able to like put food on the table and survive?
Yeah.
As long as that's the case, like there's such a strong, like cultural desire to be the very best at what you're doing.
It almost paralyzes you.
Yeah. And that is such a hindrance to doing that thing.
Yeah.
And so, so just there's been constant reminders of that. Like, you just have to be okay with trying something. And like, even if you do like doing a bunch of different things, then do those things.
Yeah.
Maybe you just do those things and have fun with them. And even if 100 people see what you've done,
that's
or 5
fine,
people see what you've done, like, if you had fun and you're happy, like, that's what matters. Those people that are making huge movies or making albums that sell millions and millions of copies, they still overdose on drugs and die because they're depressed.
Yeah.
They still get sad and have to deal with the studio telling them they're shit, or deal with, what, like, actors have to deal with themselves being put in front of the camera every day and
having to look
great,
the way
having
they have to look,
having
forever.
to perform every single moment. And it's like, everybody deals with that shit no matter what level of success you're at. Money makes it easier, but it can also make it harder too.
That's true.
So anyway, I've been having having those thoughts lately.
Yeah.
Like, we just have to, as long as we're happy.
Yeah.
If you get there, get there.
Cool.
Do the very best you can, but like at the end of the day, we're all just fucking humans.
Is
and we're
this
all
just
tiny.
the time of year where everyone's in that reflective mode?
Well, because it's the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's the end of the year, and you're like, holy fuck. Again, am I going to say, oh, this year's 2019, this year's 2018, and it's like, fuck, I made these things I was supposed to do, and now the year's almost over, and it gets sad, because it's like, oh, a whole year just
I
went
gave
by.
up on this year as soon as like February, because like I have had the shittiest luck.
Yeah.
So like anytime anything good happens, I'm like, oh, cool. But I'm like, but still, fuck this year. I'm already like marking February of next year to be like, okay, that's when things are gonna turn around. It's gonna be a fresh start.
Yeah.
You know who got affected by sorry, choking. Got affected by the Defy thing was Ava. Unfortunately, she was at Clever TV.
Oh,
So it's twice in like 2 years that she's been let go. So anyway, shout out to
Send out love to her.
Ava. We love you.
we
I'm
love
so
you.
sorry. You are amazing, and she's like, maybe it's me.
No, it's
No.
not.
Like, it's not you.
not.
She was
It's
joking.
super not.
She was joking, but like, still, I know the toll that it can take on everybody.
Yeah.
We've seen it firsthand. So Ava, we love you.
Ava, you're cool.
Don't stress. You're gonna be just fine. You're amazing.
I wish I
I wish we could hire you.
As you. Holy shit.
Yeah,
You're like
oh my
a great
God.
dancer. No matter
Oh,
what.
I thought you meant like in life flexible. Like,
No, I'm
she
talking
can
like-
dance and she can host and she can like
all of that, yes, but
whatever.
also like physically, like holy shit, like you're an amazing ballerina and like that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so fucking cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Anyway, Ava, we're looking out for you. Wish we could hire you. Really, actually do.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately. Okay, well, it's been almost 2 hours. How long is it? Yeah, we're at 1:54, so we should probably say goodbye. I know we haven't had one of these in a long time,
No,
so
I
it's
know.
been
It
really
feels
nice
good.
to
We
sit
have to figure
down.
it out.
Limitation.
Are we like bi-weekly at least now, or like? Are
Well,
we
no,
trying to
no. I want to do every week. We just have been
busy,
and our schedules have not lined up, so
Yeah.
it's been madness. But I think now, if we can get your garage
set
in
up.
shape, we can do that, and
Yeah.
and then we
That's the
can
plan.
or we can do it here, whatever. In the
Until the
meantime, whatever
garage
works
is ready.
until the garage is ready. But I would like to be doing every week if possible, just because I miss it.
I do too.
Okay, well, you can find me at Spenser Starke on Twitter, SpenserStarke.
Find me at Louis12, LEWI12, baby.
You can find me on Twitter as Starline X and on Instagram as Starline.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a happy Halloween.
That was a long time ago now.
That's true.
Well, it was
Christmas.
actually not- hey, it's only been 7 days since
That's
Halloween.
true.
We haven't had Thanksgiving yet.